again. It is Southampton 2, Leicester 1.
James has come in at the far post, directed his header into the top right-hand corner.
Yeah,
what a finish.
Now it's Stewart against Fulham at 0-0 to put Saints a big step towards the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Right-footed and scores! And Southampton have the lead at Craven Cottage in stoppage time in this FA Cup 5th round tie, and the 4,700 Saints fans go berserk away to our left.
I said we were heading to extra time. I was wrong again.
It's a nice stadium to come to. It's a nice ground to play. There will be some moments where you need to suffer. It's clear against a team with that quality, but also some moments where you can come on top and have some spells on the ball, and I think we managed to combine both of those.
That's how Southampton have got here. The FA Cup quarter-finals, a huge flag to the right in yellow and blue saying Spirit of 76. It's a wonderful sight to see. And the Saints and Arsenal players are in the tunnel. They are ready to go. Manchester City and Chelsea already into the last four. We've had the fireworks, we've had the light show. Now it's time for the football. Southampton are home to Arsenal. FA Cup quarter-final, smart speaker, BBC Sounds, all Solent frequencies with Joe Tesson and Adam Blackmore.
Ian, thank you very much. Welcome to the din, everybody. The players come out as Ian comes to me. Saints in their 76 yellow shirts, blue shorts and yellow socks. Arsenal in their traditional red and white kit, their home kit. The one-time winners of the FA Cup against the record 14 times winners of the FA Cup. 7th in the Championship against runaway leaders of the Premier League. But it is the FA Cup, and literally anything can happen over the next 90 minutes or 120 minutes or more if we end up all the way to penalties. It's a defining week for Southampton Football Club. A glamour tie in the FA Cup tonight. 2 huge league games coming up over the next 8 days, and everything laid out in front of them for a dramatic finish to this championship campaign. But first things first, can they contain the Gunners? Can they do what most Premier League teams have failed to do and at least get all level and square with them after 90 minutes? Can they start well? Can they score? Can they stop Arsenal's set pieces? All these questions will be answered over the next hour and a half, 2 hours or so. Tonder Eckert forced to make changes to his team with the suspensions to Flynn Downs particularly, and also Kuryumatski not in the squad tonight. Jack Stevens is injured, the captain, with an ankle injury. So there's 5 changes in total, because the good news is that Leo Cienza is fit. He comes in for Archer. Bragg preferred to Charles alongside Yanda, who's in for Downs. Wood in for Stevens. Stewart starts up front, the goal-scoring hero from the last round at Fulham. And on the bench, Oriol Romeu and Jay Robinson return to the Saints A-team. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta, as their players go over to applaud their travelling away fans opposite us. Big contingent of them, of course, more away tickets for FA Cup ties than league games. So the Gunners supporters over in that Kingsland stand and the corner with the chapel end away to my left. The Arsenal side shows 7 changes from the team that lost the League Cup final 2 weeks ago to Manchester City. Martinelli comes in for Trossard on the left wing, Mosquera for Saliba at centre-back, Lewis Skelly comes in for Hincapié at left-back, Christian Norgard comes in for Zubimendi, sitting next to Martin Ødegaard in the 2 sitting positions. Ødegaard back fit, in for Rice. Max Dowman, the 16-year-old, starts as Bukayo Saka is rested from the squad altogether, and Gabriel Jesus, who scored a famous goal here for Manchester City 8 years ago, starts up front for Victor Gyökeres, who scored in the FA Cup here, Gyökeres, for Coventry against Southampton. We are done with all the pleasantries, we are done with the build-up, we are done with all the talk about how strong a team, who's playing, who isn't. It's now down to business, and business is the quarter-final of the FA Cup. Southampton against Arsenal. Saints semi-finalists twice in the last decade. Arsenal 2020 winners, but not won a thing since under Mikel Arteta. 9 points clear at the top of the Premier League, on course for their first league title for 22 years, but having lost the League Cup final and their Champions League quarter-final ahead on Tuesday against Sporting Lisbon, they have a chance to put themselves back to Wembley, Arsenal, to the semi-final, along with Manchester City and Chelsea, who are already there. But will it be Saints or will it be Arsenal? Can they summon up the spirit of 76 and for the first time since 76 beat two top-flight sides in the competition when they're in the league below? That's what's ahead of them today. A rare chance to do something special as Arsenal try and start strong as we thought they would. Ben White, booed for England, plays it back to Martin Ødegaard. The Norwegian gets on the ball midway inside the Saints half. Great noise around St Mary's, Joe Tessam. If you're playing, surely you're absolutely buzzing at the noise here tonight. It's a proper cup atmosphere.
Yeah, and you want to test yourself against the, at the moment, best team in England, Arsenal, who's top of the Premier League, Adam.
Yeah.
And you want to show that you can play football.
Arguably the best team in Europe, and Saints trying to break on them. They've done well to move it early. Here's Fellows looking for his first Saints goal. Gets tackled, long leg of Gabriel comes out, and then Gabriel shouts at him for some reason. No idea why. And it's a tackle and out for a Saints throw. Level with the edge of the Arsenal penalty on this near right-hand side. Saints playing from left to right towards the northern end in the first half. And Cameron Bragg in the team, preferred to Shea Charles alongside Casper Yander. Big moment for the 21-year-old Scot, who's been trusted on numerous occasions, including the game at Coventry by Tonder Eckert, Joe.
Yeah. And the thing we've got to be good at here, Adam, is being brave on the ball. When I say brave, you've got to be able to pass and keep it. Yes, not just Russell Martin football, but keep the ball, pass it around, make Arsenal run. Don't give them a ball, let them pass it around. You got to be clever and smart in terms of how you work. And we look like we're set up more in the 4-4-2 formation, Adam.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Looks like that, with Azaz playing with Stewart. But that's good, as Arsenal make a run through the middle of the park with Gabriel Martinelli, who's the top goal involver in the FA Cup this season. Martinelli got 4 goals in the Cup and an assist, as Ødegaard gets it midway inside the Saints half. Approaching the right-hand corner of the penalty area, away to my left-hand side. Leaves it now for Ben White, tackled by Leo Cienza, back there deep inside his own half. But Arsenal have it again. Good ball infield. Goes quickly to Norgard. He can't get it forward. Saints try and play it out. And the first attack was excellent. This one's not bad either, because Azaz has got Cienza away. Arsenal backtracking towards their penalty area. Cienza's got 2 to his right. He's still going. He's brought down. The referee says no penalty. St Mary's goes mad. It looked like it may have been a pen, but Sam Barrett waves it off. We will see. I thought that was a pen, and now there's a free kick against Southampton in the centre circle. Sam Barrett's under pressure. Cienza's still down in the box, having just come back from that groin injury, remember. He cuts inside.
It has to be a penalty.
I think Gabriel hung his leg out, Joe.
He hangs his leg, tackles him. It has to be a penalty. It's
absolutely a penalty. It's not like he just dived over an imaginary leg like you might expect.
Got to be a penalty, Adam.
Well, Sam Barrett's now having a word.
Got to be a penalty. Sticks his leg out. He goes big. Brilliant play by Finnesas. Forward counter-attack, turnover into forward running Cienza, takes him Gabriel on, cuts inside him, he sticks his leg out at him. I can't believe it.
First controversy of the evening.
The referee had a brilliant position to give the penalty as well.
Well, I'm surprised at that. 4th minute. Saints unlucky. In the Premier League, I reckon he gets that 9 times out of 10.
10 out of 10, Adam. He sticks his leg out. You never stick your leg out.
Saints win it back in their own half. Azaz with a flick. Saints then dispossess Arsenal, putting pressure on the Gunners here. Martinelli has it, but in his own half. Clever play from him. Good ball inside. Norgard tries to play it, but it's intercepted, and well intercepted by Cameron Bragg. Now here's Tom Fellows drifting in from the right, leaves it for Ross Stewart, little tap to his left to Cienza. It's good play from Saints, midway inside the Arsenal half. Cienza driving towards the penalty area, flicked it into his right, didn't really make the pass good, and Arsenal intercept it. Norgard plays it back to Ben White. Saints, I think, unlucky to not have a penalty early in this FA Cup quarter-final.
Bad refereeing, Adam. It goes past him on the inside, sticks his leg out at him. You cannot stick your leg out. It's a kind of a golden rule in football. Never stick your leg out. You make a penalty.
Yeah, you're inviting Cienza to go over it, and he did. And it should have been given. 5th minute, 0-0. St Mary's.
Had a brilliant position as well.
Absolutely alive. This place buzzing for this FA Cup tie. Poor pass forward, and it goes through to Daniel Peretz. And Saints, who have made a bright start. And what you said about being brave, Joe, and I've translated that already in the first 5 minutes here, as when they've got the ball, they've played forward quickly, Saints. They've done well to actually try and transition, not just like, oh, well, we've just got to hold it because we've got it back off Arsenal.
No, they played into Finnasas, who brilliantly got into a good position, played it to forward-running Cienza, who then went one-on-one with Gabriel, and absolutely brilliant, Adam. And this shows the difference in having pace, and especially when you play Premier League sides, you've got to have the pace of Cienza to create space, because that's what he does. They are going to get scared of him and drop maybe 2 or 3 yards more than they normally would.
Yeah, absolutely. Gabriel squares it to Mosquera. Mosquera, the Spaniard, plays it down the right, and they've got it forward here. Here's Max Dowman, the youngster. Dowman driving the 16-year-old edge of the box, shoots, and Peretz easily down to his right-hand side. But there's no lack of confidence, is there, from the 16-year-old Max Dowman, trusted by Mikel Arteta to play in these games now. Almost a new Theo Walcott, Oxlade-Chamberlain type player, isn't he? To be playing at the top level at 16, he's crazy in the modern game.
It is, and Manning rushed into him and lost the tackle at him, and he turned him, and that's why he could run towards the goal and have a shot with his left foot.
Miles Lewis-Skelly, another teenager, got Arsenal back on the go, and they've got it back to Dowman again. Ben White's there. Dowman goes on the outside. White plays it back inside to Christian Mosquera, and they're giving it away, and Stewart's nicked it away. Sloppy from Arsenal. Ross Stewart hasn't got the pace to keep going beyond Mosquera, but he's managed to hold the ball up, and he's played it nicely in field. Good chance here. Shot maybe. No, and I think Cameron Bragg, if he'd been a bit more confident, would have just pulled the trigger, Joe. He ran onto it perfectly. Now he's got to get back because Arsenal are threatening to break. Here is Dowman again, midway inside the Saints half. He's cut inside towards the middle of the park, goes back to the top of the centre circle, and Christian Norgard calmly lays it off. And Arsenal come again through their captain Martin Ødegaard. Now on this left-hand side, Gabriel Jesus has popped up. Jesus looking for a pass, squares it short. Lewis-Skelly's concentration's poor. Him and Norgard getting each other's way, and the yellow shirts of Saints can break again. Here's Finn Azaz. 4 on 4 at the moment in the Arsenal half. It's like the last 10 minutes, and he plays it to Fellows. Good ball. Fellows in the box on the right, cuts into his left foot, blocked brilliantly by Gabriel. And then James Bree picks up the loose ball, and Saints keep it. Good stuff from Southampton. 8th minute, 0-0. Solent Sport in the FA Cup. And on BBC Sounds, his smart speaker. Out to Cienza. Southampton giving as good as they get from Arsenal at the moment. Here's Cienza near the corner flag. Plays it back inside to Casper Yander. 8 minutes gone, goalless at St Mary's. Saints should have had a penalty already. They're playing with a real confidence. It's good to see. Here's Fellows on the right wing. Gabriel showed what a good defender he is, Joe, twice with Fellows. That time as well, to make a clean block like that.
No, but it's a rider there. It'll get played in by Ross Stewart, Adam, and gets one-on-one, and that's when you got to take him on, and he does it, Adam, cuts inside, gets a little bit of space, but brilliant block afterwards.
Now ball over the top looking for Gabriel Martinelli, and it's a beautiful ball from Ødegaard. Martinelli's been pushed wide, but he's got Saints rushing back. He's in the box on the left, wants it on his right foot, shoots, and that's blocked by James Bree, and out for an Arsenal corner. And James Bree did as well as Gabriel did at the other end of the pitch to block the dangerous Brazilian Gabriel Martinelli.
Yeah, and this is the problem, Martinelli's pace here, Adam, and that shows again how important pace is in football. Lose the ball, one ball from Ødegaard over the top to Martinelli, and he's one-on-one kind of with James Bree, and James Bree keeps his position, drives him inside and blocks the shot. That's all he can do, Adam.
9 minutes gone, corner to the Gunners, 0-0 at St Mary's in the FA Cup quarter-final. Martin Ødegaard not rushing to go over there to take it. Arsenal fans having a sing opposite us. Yellows is the cry from the Saints fans. They've got some to defend the Arsenal famous set-piece corner. Joe will have a look at what's going on. 16 they've scored, a record equalling from corners in the Premier League this season already, Arsenal. They take this one short. It goes back in field to Norgard. Squares it to Martinelli, and it comes off ahead and goes behind for a corner. Harwood Bellis managed to get in the way, but it was almost too easy. They had time to line the pass up, the shot up. They tricked Saints completely with that one.
Yeah, they had 3 players out, one on the corner, and Martinelli in front of the 18-yard box, and it passes him and sidesfooted into the corner, but Taylor Harwood-Bellis is there. He reads it and heads it for another corner. Let's see if it's a different one this time, Adam.
Yeah. Here comes the corner from this near side. Arsenal take it. Remember, no Saka, no Rice in the starting lineup. In fact, they're not on the bench either. Rested for Tuesday. Here's Martinelli's corner to the back post. Free header for Norgard, and it's put out again, this time by Manning. Saints didn't win the first ball or the second ball there, Joe. A little bit lucky they didn't hit that
and
well.
no one's marking Norgard on the back post there, Adam, and he heads it back in, and that's always dangerous when you get a kind of recycle the ball into the front of the box, and because then you got to turn around and look where what's happening and keep an eye on your man.
Another corner from this near side for Martinelli to take. Right footed. This one's gone high. Has it gone over everyone? Manor free at the back post again. This time it's caught by Daniel Peretz. It was headed down at the back post by Gabriel Jesus, but Peretz was under no pressure. And again, Jesus just pulled away at the back, and there was no one close to him.
Yeah, not a good corner though, but into the back post where no one's marking Jesus, and he can just head it in, and luckily Peretz picks it up. But 3 corners, Adam, dealt with it. 3 different corners, if you like.
Yeah, and I think Tonderecker, what he said before the game was absolutely spot on. I mean, there are times you're going to have to suffer, and deal with stuff. And this is those things. Deal with those corners. You might have to get a bit lucky. You might have to suffer a bit without the ball.
Yeah, but also learn in the process of when you have had these 2 corners on the back post. Learn from it and make sure that that Arsenal doesn't win it on the back.
Yeah, 100%. Arsenal have it back inside their own half. We're in the 12th minute. That's the voice of Joe Tessam alongside me, former Saints and Norway midfielder. Come forward, come winger,
Viking,
come right back, part-time Viking, apart from when he's got his heated gilet on. 12 minutes gone. Could wear it tonight, Joe. It's cold enough. Wind,
I got Viking style today.
Yeah, April, you can't wear a heated gilet. It's against the law. Martinelli, 15 yards inside the Saints half, drove in field off the left wing. It's dropped back to Norgard. He finds Gabriel Jesus. Little first time layoff is neat and tidy as well. Arsenal with Martinelli and Jesus, the 2 Brazilians making up part of that front 3. Dowman on the far side. Here's Mosquera, summer arrival from Valencia on loan. Here is Max Dowman, the 16-year-old who's already had Manning on toast once, curls it in left-footed. Brave header from Manning, did enough to half clear it. Bragg's clearance completed it, and then a good first-time ball from Yanda, and good pace from Stewart, stretching his legs there and taking Saints into the Arsenal half up against Gabriel. And then a lovely ball from Cameron Bragg, crossfield, chested by Azaz. If only he could have taken that in his stride and gone towards goal with it. And then he's passed to Cienza, can't find him. And there's Dowman back helping his defence out very quickly near his own corner flag. Now that was left by Saints in the same form of Yanda, and then he got lucky and won it back. No foul as the crunching challenge came in. And then the referee's going to give the free kick. Well, I'm afraid for the foul on Havertz by Yanda. But Sam Barrett has done Saints no favours so far in this game, the referee. 13 minutes gone, denied them a clear penalty, and then Havertz has dived for me. He might have been touched and contacted, but he's jumped forward 2-footed to make it look worse. And then
Yonder is clean on the ball, Adam. I know he maybe left his both legs off the ground, but he's on the ball, and the referee, I think the linesman talked to the referee to give it, because the referee wasn't going to give it, and this is the problem, Adam, when you don't give penalties like you should do, and then you give free kicks like that, you put yourself in a difficult position. I think that ball from Bragg over to Assas was really good. He just chested it wrong at him, and he could have been straight on target.
Yeah, I agree. I thought he was just going to chest it towards the post.
I kind of lost a little bit of control of the ball. And
now that ball from Norgard is not good. About the third one he's given away, actually. Christian Norgard, the 32-year-old former Brentford player, of course. Cheeky 10 million for Arsenal from Brentford in the summer. Bit of squad filling. And then Saints trying to play out from the back. Did a long ball towards James Bree. He's not going to get there though before Miles Skelly. And he finds Martinelli. Now Saints are backpedaling. Back to Lewis Skelly in the left wing. Crosses it in. Blocked and cleared by Harwood Bellis, the Saints captain, to Finn Azaz. Up against Mosquera, who's high in the Saints half. Azaz holds him off. Finds his captain again. Here's Harwood Bellis with a long right-footed diagonal, looking to get Cienza in over the back of Ben White. Cienza nearly got it. Manning does get a touch, and Cienza's free in behind White suddenly. Pulls it back inside. And it's easily dealt with in the end by Norgard, who's positioned brilliantly to deal with the problem as he tried to pull it back into the box for a yellow shirt. 15 minutes gone. Great cup tie so far. Really good entertainment. Here's Havertz. Out to Martinelli. Martinelli once more. Gives it back to Havertz at the byline, and a tackle comes in from Fellows, who tracked him all the way back at the expense of an Arsenal corner. Good football. Really good open cup tie so far, Joe.
Good tempo. So a good long ball up to Senso. Does well against Ben White, and then Manning helps him up, then puts the ball in behind, and he goes in and tries to find Ross Stewart, but he should have chosen Finn Assas on the back post at him. Finn Assas made an unbelievable run into the back post, but he chose to cut back on Ross Stewart, and then Nørgaard snuck in and stole the ball. Finn Assas totally on his own on the back post.
Missed opportunity for Saints. Corner to Arsenal. Another one for Saints to defend. The fourth already. 16th minute. Martinelli this time takes this one short to Ødegaard. Ødegaard plays it infield to Miles Skelly. They haven't closed him down. 20 yards out, he squares it. Here's Dalman, beats one, shoots, blocked in front of him. Another shot comes in from Gabriel. Mosquera then gets a header back out to the Brazilian. Lovely layoff from him back to Dalman. 35 yards out now, Arsenal's dead centre. Lewis Skelly helps it on out to Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus crosses, and in the end Peretz had to just scramble, worried that his cross to the back post might curl inside the woodwork, and it didn't. It's a goal kick to Southampton. It's 0-0 on BBC Radio Solent Sport, and it's been a cracking cup tie so far.
Yeah, and that cross from Jesus wasn't a good cross, but curls at him, and I think Peretz first it's going to go out, and then he started worrying because it was still curling. He had control, but we've got to deal with that short corners, and the person that's on the 18-yard box totally free. Doman this time, and
now there's a flick on, and Cienza's through and onside. Defenders coming back. Cienza in the box. He's been pushed wide, and then Mosquera gets a tap away from him. Oh, Saints have had two great opportunities in this game. Mosquera's slow to get up, but Cienza will be ruining that miss. Possibly Gabriel's error. The ball went up top. He back-headed it into Cienza's path, and the Brazilian closes in on goal. And just his third touch just took it too wide, Joe, and Mosquera's paced it enough.
He lost his pace, and Mosquera comes in and picks up the ball. It goes past the keeper, Adam. Could have had a shot on one-on-one with the keeper. Chose a little dummy shot, cuts inside from the left, and he's in the middle. Great position, great angle, Adam, for a shot. Then decides to take another touch to get it past the keeper, which he does, but Mosquera is there, picks him up, runs back after Gabriel has flicked the ball on into the pathway of Cienza, like you said, Adam, and should have been 1-0 again.
I mean, if you wanted encouragement to Southampton, they've got all the encouragement they could ask for, Joe. There's a high kick, gives them a free kick, and the referee, after 18 minutes, I think a few Saints players saying that should be a yellow card. Cienza holding his side. It does like a bit of drama, Cienza.
Yeah,
but he's a bit Tadic-y like that. He likes to go down.
Well, he's from Brazil.
Well, he is Brazil, and Brazil stroke Germany, though. Tackled by Christian and it's Norgard, isn't it, Joe? Norgard. Double A.
Double A is like an but in the Denmark it could be a little bit different.
Okay, thanks.
But his first name is the O with a line through is like an so it's Nørgaard.
Yeah. 19th minute, there's your language lesson for tonight. 0-0, Saints have a free kick midway inside their own half. No yellow card, and Leo Cienza will be you just wonder, having been injured, Joe, and probably coming back to fitness and being all pumped up for this, whether maybe in a couple of weeks he takes that because he's just a little bit more into his game again. There's a free kick for a foul on Fellows by Miles Lewis-Skelly. Lewis-Skelly, who's had no Premier League appearances since January for Arsenal, funnily enough, having been making headlines at the start of his Arsenal career.
Yeah, and that's what Tom Fellows just did. And get the ball, the difficult ball, made a bad ball better. Challenge, keep the ball, be brave with a man in your back, and and gets past and gets the free kick. Either he gets past or he gets the free kick, and he got the free kick. Now
Mosquera this time not judging the windy ball up to Stewart very well, gets it back to his goalkeeper, and Kepa Arrizabalaga, as some people like to say, or Arrizabalaga, I'm not Spanish. We'll just call him Kepa, keep it easy.
You have done some Spanish.
Yeah, but I don't speak. I mean, why would I when I'm not Spanish?
Yeah. Come on, Adam, you should do Spanish.
Yeah, I should say Paris is Parry as well, shouldn't I? Right, 20 minutes gone, 0-0. But I mean, a really good occasion so far. Good to see Saints being all over the media in a good light so far, and under Thunder Eckert. Now here's Martin Ødegaard, pushes it wider. Outside it goes to Dowman, gets to the byline again, little shirt tug, little bit of pressure from Manning was enough this time, and the youngster wipes himself down, gets up and goes back into it, but he's an impressive. I like the way he attacks. I think sometimes the fearlessness of youth players, Joe, just attack the space and drive.
But you can see why he is playing, because he's got pace at him.
Yeah. That's a lovely ball. That's Saints at their best when they do that little move from the right. Arteta urging players to come back and help out these defenders. He never stops, Arteta. It'll be interesting privately to see what Tonda thinks of him, having had a good private chat with him about Frank Lampard on the touchline. I'll be interested to see if Mikel Arteta's in that sort of class when we get a chance to speak later. Arteta, jack in a box on the touchline. And he must burn about 1,000 calories just watching his team players. Peretz clears out of play on the far side, near halfway. It'll be an Arsenal throw, Joe.
Yeah, you're talking about. You've got to be careful saying you have private conversations.
Well, I can say it as long as I don't say what they say in the private conversation.
People think you're having coffees with the manager.
That's no. I haven't had lunch since Ralph. Since Ralph. Ralph and me had lunch every day, discussed the latest tactics. I nearly got an advisory role like Matt Letitia. Was that good? Right, ball down the left-hand side. Gabriel Martinelli has it for Arsenal. Cuts inside two players. He's beaten Bragg. Somehow he's still got the ball, and then eventually Fellows gets back and does well to nick it off him. And then Breach clears it up to Arteta, who catches it, gives it to his player on halfway. And Arsenal want to get on with it. Kai Havertz, a frustrating player if ever there was one, has it. Goes back into his own half. Mosquera leaves it for Martin Ødegaard, who tries to get the Gunners going. 21 of their 31 Premier League games they've won. 9 points clear. They've lost 4 games in all competitions all season. The League Cup final being one of those. Still, of course, they're unbeaten in the Champions League. Still in this FA Cup. And cruising in the Premier League to win it at a canter at the moment. Crossing from the right, short pass into Norgard, who made a nice challenge, and then Jesus can't get there before the clearing work from Yanda and Manning, but Arsenal have it back and they can keep the pressure on the Saints half of the pitch. Infield, Dowman, it's Ødegaard, sorry. Ødegaard has it, flicks it out to the right. Chance for Ben White to put it in. He's got space and time as well. Edge of the box, and eventually the cover comes over and the block from Cienza. It's out for another Arsenal corner. Past the midway point of the first half on BBC Radio Solent. Southampton 0, Arsenal 0.
Yeah, and they lip it too easy through the middle. Adam, you want them in the middle because that's where we got a lot of players to block out. I think we are like kind of sitting in and using little energy when we defend. Adam, you got to kind of match it with.
You said this at Fulham as well. You know, soak it up and then come back.
And lip it and match the faces of what's happening. Maybe a little bit too much space on the right hand side from Dolman and Ben White at the moment, but we have dealt with it.
So far, corner to Arsenal, this time from the far side. They're right in front of their supporters over there, away on the far side to my left hand side. They take another short one, the third short one of their corners. Goes back to Down and back inside to Martinelli again. This time he's 30 odd yards out. He flicks it back out to the right. Little short ball to Havertz. Tries to play it back. He gets lucky. The ricochet goes back to an Arsenal shirt. Still the Gunners can attack and look to get to the byline. Back heel to Havertz. He's nice. Back inside it comes to Dowman. He squares it back with Martinelli, 30 odd yards out central. Little short layoff from him, that's clever. Diamond with the step over, half tackled. Then Bree comes across to make a challenge on him, but still Arsenal come again. Pressure on the Saints penalty area, header half away. Sent back into the box by Norgard. He gets it again to head it. Arsenal having all the pressure, picking up all the second balls here and testing Saints' resilience defensively. 0-0 into the 25th minute. Arsenal now on the right wing have it. Overlap comes as well. It'll be played in by White. Clever ball to Havertz. Lovely flick to Gabriel Jesus. Back to goal though, near the penalty area. It comes back to Ødegaard, and it's saved by Perez. Out on the right hand side again. Another cross in towards Havertz this time. It's all hands to the pump for Southampton as they clear that one. 25th minute. Martinelli with his right foot hangs it into the penalty area at the back post. Initial header won by Arsenal. Clearance again only goes halfway up the Saints half, and Mosquera gets control of it. Back for the Gunners, and Lewis Skelly has it in the centre circle. Southampton hanging on here like a boxer on the ropes as Arsenal come back in wave after wave of attack. Martinelli down the left, dragging Bragg with him over on this near side. Now he lets it go past him too easily, pulls it back, shot, and it's wide off a deflection. And unless it just bounced into the ground off Martin Ødegaard, it may well have done. It's a goal kick. That's a massive chance missed by Arsenal.
Oh, that is Martinelli. Don't give him the outside, Adam. I think Cameron Bragg goes towards him and gives him the down the line, and he just little drop to the shoulder with his shoulder to the right, and then boom, he's gone into the inside and plays a brilliant ball to Ødegaard on just 2 yards, 3 yards off the penalty spots, and kind of scuffs the ball to the right of Perez. Big chance, Adam. Should have been probably 1-0 to Arsenal.
I mean, why are they so far away from Gabriel Martinelli? I mean, Cameron Bragg's literally just waved him down the line.
It's a wrong player, because Cameron Bragg had to push over because of Tom Fellas is not there, you know, so he comes over, but he gives him the outside. He should never give him that.
Trouble is, you don't want to get him on his right foot either. It's a hard one. He wants to come in.
You've got to be tight at him.
Yeah, and that's a free kick. And the referee, is he getting a card out? He is. Quick yellow card there from Sam Barrett. No hesitation in giving Manning that, and that's a worry for Manning up against Dowman on that far side. The 16-year-old's already done him once. Now he's drawn a yellow card off him.
I think that is an experienced player saying, "No, man, you are 60 and you're not going to do that anymore."
Yeah,
and I'm going to take a yellow card. But now you're on the yellow card against a quick technical player, which he's kind of struggled a little bit, maybe a little bit too far away from me. I know it's easy to say this because he's a good player, but the problem is he's not tight to go, man, early enough.
He's reaching, isn't he? Stretching to get close to him.
Kind of sucking him and trying, and Doman is taking advantage of the space.
Arsenal will eventually have a free kick. Really central, inside right position. Ødegaard switches it out to that right wing, where they're going to have another go down there. Onto the left foot, curl to the back post, and Perez comes off his line and claims that for Southampton and doesn't rush it out. Decides to give his team a break, which is a good thing, and then sends a long one up as Miles Skelly was back covering for Arsenal. Saints tried to catch Arsenal out, sending Fellows through the middle, and now Arsenal can come straight back at them. Here's Dowman, inside and outside. Manning again in the box, then Manning plays it off him. That's a goal kick, and Saints, I don't know why Arsenal fans are moaning, it's an obvious goal kick. And Southampton do that, and Manning deals with that much better. Of course, now he's had the yellow card, he has to do everything cleanly, so might actually help him in a way. You can't lunge in and be...
No, so, it makes you stand on your legs, but he's quick though, Adam, and you can see the spaces around the midfield too is too big. Cameron Bragg and Casper Yander is being totally overrun, Adam. They don't know where to go. Cameron Bragg is now on the left side. Earlier it was on the right side. It's too much running for them.
I was just going to say that to you, that Arsenal just played it forward from Saints clearance, one header into midfield, and suddenly Bragg and Yander are running around, as you would say, like headless chickens, trying to get somewhere close to a red and white shirt. It isn't easy. Ødegaard's back heel is brilliant. Here's Dowman, smashes it at Perez at the near post, and the Israeli pushes it behind for another Arsenal corner. 0-0 still, that's the key thing.
Yeah, and that comes through the middle and the chaos in the middle. We're not strong enough in the middle, Adam. Disorganised Casper Yander and Cameron Bragg. Cameron Bragg is, instead of organising Casper Yander, because you kind of play... you're on the side of each other, Cameron Bragg runs past Kasper Jander to do his job.
Yeah.
You've got to tell him, your job is there, my job is there. Push him over.
It's like we watched them when they were playing under Will Steele doing that running around endlessly. But of course, it's because Arsenal are so good as opposed to them being set up badly. And it's a bit of panic, isn't it, when they haven't got the ball and the 20 youngsters running around everywhere trying to do everything. 29 minutes gone.
You've got to be
Sixth
organised.
corner for the Gunners. And forget it, in front of their own fans away to my left on the far side. They're looking for another short one. They have. Dowman came and Havertz. It went to Dowman, played it back in field to White. Now they have it back on the right wing again. Now Ben White once more. Clever ball into Ødegaard, and it's so easy. They shift it to Havertz. He crosses it. Harwood Bellis with a good header. Proper captain's header that was. And it's picked up again, though, brilliantly by Ødegaard. Ødegaard pushes it out to Gabriel Jesus. His first touch is too heavy. But Cameron Bragg's going to run out of steam by half-time the way it's gone so far. I'm not criticising him. I'm just saying he's trying so hard to cover so much ground. He can't do that for longer than 60 minutes, Joe.
And that's when he needs to learn to speak, Adam, and organise. That's part of being that. Like when we played the Coventry, when he was the holding player, he needs to be the boss, Adam. And in midfield, you got to be a boss.
Saints trying to play it from the back. In the end, it goes back to Peretz. He launches it long. Mosquera's free header goes forward to Martinelli, and there's Bragg again, but Martinelli's turned him. Bragg missed the first contact. Here's Ødegaard, 25 yards from goal, right hand edge of the box, gets towards the side byline, pulled it back, it came off for Manning. Ødegaard's kept it in. Arsenal feel they're in the ascendancy. Half hour gone in the FA Cup quarter-final, 0-0, but Arsenal pushing for an opening goal. Havertz's shot deflects, and that's gone away for a corner. 20-odd yards out, the German hits it left-footed. It hit the defender in front of him, Nathan Wood, and ballooned away. And for a moment, Peretz was scrambling to check it wasn't going to dip and spin under his crossbar. It went wide.
It just went wide. It dipped and spun at him, which is the worst one for the keeper. So that would have gone in if he'd gone inside the post. Kasper Jander needs to wake up, though, Adam. He left Ødegaard running past him, just kind of walked past him and left it for kind of Manning to deal with it. Kasper Jander, you've got to wake up if you're going to be a good football player.
Corner again, this time on the left-hand side, the 7th for Arsenal. Martinelli will take it again. 2 comes short. Havertz collects it this time. Tries to flick it back to Martinelli. He's got Ødegaard inside him. Ødegaard near the left-hand corner of the penalty area. Square short pass to Lewis Skelly, then back to Havertz. No one's marked him. He crosses it to the back post, hangs it up there. Saints, get the free kick. They'll take that all day long. Nice soft free kick from Sam Barrett. 32nd minute, free kick Southampton. And this game, I mean, to be fair to Saints, Joe, they're under the cosh, but as you said, they're going to have to go through spells where they defend and defend, like this constantly for maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then you've got to try and climb back into the game.
No, this isn't good defending, especially in midfield, Adam, and that's the worrying bit. When you got to defend, yes, you got to defend, but you got to do it right. The way we're defending now in midfield isn't good enough, and that's going to cost us. If that continues, it's going to cost us, because Arsenal is getting too much space, too easy, walks through. They're not organised, the 2 young midfield players in them, and they're kind of getting overrun and they don't know where to go.
Long clearance from Daniel Perez. That's a nice layoff from Ross Stewart. Finds Finn Azaz 20 yards out. Tried to turn inside Christian Norgard, who tackled him. Back pass is poor to Kepa. Stewart tried to charge it, and it goes out for a Saints throw on the far side. Well, that's better, because Southampton are suddenly in the Arsenal half for the first time in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we need that. Keep the ball a little bit, play the ball, make Arsenal run and work, and drag them up. You've got to be willing to play football, Adam, and just drag them up, make them come for you.
Yeah, I mean, they were in the first 10-15 minutes, and Arsenal sort of taken over the game, so this spell's important now. We've got 12 minutes or so till half-time. That was always, for me, going to be a great achievement. If they could get to the break all square, that would be huge. But they've just got to keep the concentration going, and that pass was dangerous, and it's given away, and Ben White's got it in the box. He tries to cross it, deflects kindly for Saints. And Finn Azaz can send a long ball forward. It's not bad either. It's gone over Gabriel's head and found Ross Stewart. Excellent ball forward from Finn Azaz, and he's dropped it off for Cienza, driving with Mosquera. Then he looks to cross towards Fellows at the back post. Fellows gets it up against Lewis Skelly, who got under the ball too much, and then Fellows is tackled but manages to win it back. Martinelli's challenge was soft. Half a clearance from Gabriel, completed by Lewis Skelly, but that's a shame, because the cross from Fellows was a great opportunity for Saints, and Cameron Bragg wins it back, and Kai Havertz fouls him, And the Saints fans want a yellow card for a deliberate hand grabbing the foot of Bragg and knocking him over.
I think he fell over by accident, Adam, although he's running for the ball, so he slips.
Yeah, and then actually Bragg touched his own, kicked his own heels.
Yeah, and they've got a small touch with his hand when Havertz slips and falls over, Adam. So I think no yellow card is.
I think it's quite
right
a good. It's quite a good free kick for Saints to get eventually. In effect, Bragg tripped himself up. Clearance from Peretz up towards the Arsenal half again, sent back by Ben White into the Saints half. Good hold. Well, I say good hold at ball. The ball from Ross Stewart was loose in the end, and it's given up. And here's Dowman 20 yards out, right-hand corner of the penalty area. Arsenal attacking once more the Chapel End. A couple of step overs. Ødegaard trying to twist and turn and create something, but his back heel goes to Leo Cienza. And Cienza can bring it away for Arsenal, for Saints, and he's going from left to right. He's come over to this near side. Edvard Schmidt, the analyst next to me, is screaming at him to give it right. Bree's got it, 20 yards out. Tries to cross the back post, and it might come down. Shot! Saints lead! It's Ross Stewart again! Ben White misjudged the flight of the ball, and Stewart, who is the hero at Fulham, chests it down, and against the run of play, gives Southampton the lead with a volley past Kepa. It is Saints 1, Arsenal 0 in the quarter-final of the FA Cup, and Ross Stewart scores for Southampton.
Oh, what a brilliant goal, Adam. Yeah, maybe against the run of play, as you said, but what a good counter-attack that he picks the ball. Cienza picks the ball up on the left side on the 80-yard box, just drive, crossover, place it to James Bree, and everyone, he drives forward and everyone was going shoot, and then he plays a brilliant ball, floaty ball to the back post instead, and everyone was, why didn't you shoot? Perfectly on the Ross Stewart's chest. He takes it on behind Ben White and smashes it into the left-hand corner for the keeper. Brilliant goal, Adam. It's no luck about that goal. It's brilliant play.
Well, what a great pass from James Bree, and I was right, Ben White misjudged the flight of the ball, and Stewart chests it, volleys it, scores from 12 yards. And you may remember he got his first ever goal for Southampton here against Arsenal on the final day of the Premier League season in 2023, and now he scored the biggest goal of his Saints career.
This is big, Adam, for him, and brilliant for what he's gone through as well. Imagine that.
Southampton lead the Premier League leaders. 50th anniversary is 76, and they're summoning the spirit again.
And Ben White is following Cienza into pitch and just takes him out, Adam. So that's a bit of frustration after that lovely ball on the back post, and Ben White totally misjudged the float of the ball. Brilliant ball from
James Bree. James Bree, goal, FA Cup hero against Leicester in the 4th round, scoring off the bench in extra time. Puts the perfectly hung up cross for Ross Stewart, and the Loch Ness Drogba did the rest. And here's Leo Cienza on the left wing for Saints. Is he tripped? He is. Free kick Southampton. 7.5 minutes to half time. Ben White again.
And I'll tell you what, Ben White should have a yellow card now. That's his 3rd foul in a very short succession, Adam. And I'll tell you what, if that's a free kick, why didn't they give a penalty, Adam?
I don't know, because it's inconsistent from Sam Barrett.
Oh God, someone send that referee the video from this game, because that is embarrassing.
Well, they've got the lead, thankfully, but they could have had the goal as early as the 3rd minute, which would have changed the match again, but it's changed it anyway, Joe. I said about getting to half time all square. They've gone and taken the lead. Yeah. Southampton, 7 minutes to half time.
Yeah, let's ride it up. We've got a good free kick position. Yeah. Let's see if we can punish them on free kicks.
Absolutely. We talked about Saints having scored as many set-piece goals as Arsenal, and James Bree is back over on that far side again in front of the northern end. He's going to whip it in right-footed from the left, headed away, just didn't get quite enough height on it. Bragg plays it back to Yander. Yander floats it into the box. It's not bad, and in the end, it's Harwood-Bellis himself who just couldn't judge it, but the wind giving the Arsenal centre-backs a nightmare so far in this game.
Yeah, I think the positioning play of the Arsenal players gave them a nightmare, Adam, because James Bree and Howard Teller Howard Bellis is on his own, but the ball just keeps floating like it did for Ben White, and he could have headed it into middle, and Ross Stewart is in a great position. But the wind plays a part in how the ball flies into the area. Good play though.
Well, fair play to Southampton. Soaked up all that pressure for 10-15 minutes. Now there's a push and the linesman gives that. That's better from that linesman. But you're right, Kasper Yander, just occasionally, for me in this first half, the game looks a bit much for him, Joe. He's just struggled to live with the game.
And this time his control of the situation, but falls over way too easy and lucky that he gets a free kick at him. He needs to learn to be stronger and stand on your feet and block it with your body. Now
there's a ball over the top for Saints to chase, and the clearance from Kepa out of his penalty area is shocking. And then Havertz misses it completely, and Finazaz could shoot and lob the keeper, but he can't get the pace on it from 25 yards, and Arsenal messy in their own half. 40th minute, Saints lead. Lewis Skelly trying to drive them past halfway, and he's given it away. Good play from Christian Norgard to buy half a second, and then he gives it away. And that's a lovely pass to Azaz. Holds off a challenge, tries to hold off another one. Play on, says the referee, as he's tackled. Saints keep the ball.
Brilliant play, brilliant fight for the ball, Adam, and winning challenges, winning second balls, third balls. That's brilliant, Adam.
Somebody said to me earlier they thought Arsenal might win, but Saints would score first. Well, they've done the first bit, we just don't need the second bit. Ball all the way through from Howard Bellis. Not bad looking for Fellows, but he can't get there, and now he's got to get back to try and help out, because Martinelli, he's gone on a run, and that ball over the top from Havertz is 20 yards too fast. And it's gone through to Daniel Peretz. 1-0 Saints into the last 5 minutes of the first half. BBC Radio Solent Sport. Can Southampton cause one of the biggest shocks of this year's competition and absolutely do the 76ers proud? 41st minute. Header out of play by Mosquera. Saints throw 25 yards from the corner flag of the Arsenal goal line on this near side, the Southampton right. And
another long ball that floats in the air. Lewis Skelly can't deal with it because he keeps floating at him, so the wind is playing a part.
Be interesting to see if it is literally a problem if you're defending that end of the pitch, and we'll see it in the second half when Saints are doing it. The gusts behind the ball maybe sending it on and on, and Saints will have to deal with that themselves.
Sometimes on the pitch you get a lift on the ball, the wind comes and it comes back at you, and when you kick the ball it floats and then it lifts and then floats again.
Well, let's see what happens if Saints have the same problems. So anyway, they have the ball, Southampton. They've worked it nicely from left to right. Here's Fellows bearing down on the box, comes inside, decides to I don't know if it was a shot, but he's crossed it eventually. Half cleared by Arsenal as Fellows went in on the rebound. Looked like a shirt pull for me on Yander. Still Arsenal haven't cleared it. Saints still in the box have it. Another player goes down. No appeals for a penalty there on Fellows. But Southampton giving Arsenal look ruffled by the goal, Joe. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, but you've got to win the challenges, Adam, and we do in front of the goal when the ball is in the air, not one. You've got to stay up there and be high on the pitch.
It's a superhuman effort from Saints so far. 3 minutes to half time. The Premier League leaders have it near the Saints penalty area again. Erdegaard 25 yards out, moving out to his right hand side. White helps it on to Dowman. Dowman against Manning, holds it up, goes back inside. Here's Mosquera, squares it to Gabriel. Scored an own goal here once to give Saints a win in, of course, the FA Cup in 2021. Mosquera leaves it for Erdegaard as well. The playmakers trying to get things happening for Arsenal. He's gone out to Dowman again. He's got it onto his left foot, tries to cross, needs clearing by Nathan Wood, and is cleared by Nathan Wood. And Saints can push out. He actually had more time than he thought. He could have taken a touch and looked up.
Peretz could have come up and got it, but if you're going to create it further though.
43rd minute. Back Arsenal come again on the right. White crosses, that deflects. It's awkward for the keeper and he catches it well. Talk about a swirling wind. Peretz did well to keep his concentration on that. Got above Gabriel Jesus, which isn't the biggest ask, I know. And then his clearance doesn't look great, but it's gone right to the right area towards Stewart. It floated on the wind. Stewart will close down the clearance from the goalkeeper, and Kepa puts it out of play over Tom Dreckert's head below us in his Hitchin stand, and it's out for a Southampton throw. Ariza Balaga, who of course spent last year on loan at Bournemouth.
And there's some opportunities there because Arsenal's pushing so high up that Ross Stewart and if Cienza joins in, they are one-on-one. They leave the Gabriel one-on-one and Mosquera one-on-one with Ross Stewart, and it's a gamble.
Bree takes the throw on halfway down the right-hand side. Surely that's a foul on Ross Stewart. He was bundled over by Gabriel, who literally put his arm round him and threw him to the floor, I thought. Linesman 2 yards away, Joe. 2 yards away, didn't see a thing. Nothing happening here, guys.
No, and the referee was 4 yards away from the penalty.
Not close enough. Here's Arsenal attacking off the back of that, getting the ball back from that challenge. Martinelli has it on the left. Nice ball floated over to him by Dowman. Martinelli comes into that right foot. He's near the left-hand corner of the penalty area. The Brazilian holds the ball, gives it then short to Havertz, back out on this left-hand side. Looking for a 1-2 with Miles Skelly. He can't play forward, so he goes back to Gabriel. We're into the last minute of normal time at the end of the first half on BBC Sounds and BBC Radio Solent. Southampton 1, Arsenal 0. The Championship side lead the Premier League leaders in the FA Cup quarter-final. The ball squared to Gabriel. Unthinkable almost for Arsenal in the season. They're having to get knocked out in the League Cup final and then the FA Cup in successive games at a crucial time of year, but that's the pressure on them now. 15 seconds of normal time to go before the fourth official sends up the boards, James Bell.
Yeah, and we're better organised now.
Thomas Bramall, actually.
Cameron Bragg and Caspian is much better organised in the middle.
We're about to enter the stoppage time. It's just the 1 minute. I'm not surprised. It's been helter-skelter. Here's Ødegaard, central, 20 yards inside the Saints half. Squares it to Gabriel and on to Martinelli now. One Brazilian to another. Another chance to attack from this left-hand side for Arsenal. Back inside. Saints slow to close Ødegaard down. Clearance is poor. Comes off Lewis Skelly. Dowman will keep it in. No offside. Manning's there. If you're wondering who didn't give the penalty, by the way, the VAR official is James Bell. Saints need to defend still. A Norgard shot goes straight into the midriff of Daniel Peretz, and that should be it for the first half. And Saints can be really proud of the effort they've made in the first half to keep Arsenal at bay, and they're trying to come forward themselves one more time. 15 seconds left.
Again, the long ball from Peretz in the air, and it's just floating. It just keeps flying at him, and Ross Stewart almost gets on the end of that as well.
Well, I think that'll be interesting to see if the wind's still there for Saints to worry about. We've had the minute. Havertz into Gabriel Jesus. Good challenge on him from Harwood Bellis, and then the whistle goes. The referee blows up. Gabriel Jesus brings down Fellows. I don't think he's going to book him. Sam Barrett's going to let him off, but it doesn't matter because Fellows is up, Southampton are up, and they lead Arsenal at half-time in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. And everything we wanted from this game, we've got so far, Joe Chesham. We wanted Saints to compete. We wanted them to play well enough that it wouldn't affect what they do at Wrexham on Tuesday mentally, and so far they've done all that plus more, because to go in 1-0 up is a dream first half.
Yeah, well, it's always good to be 1-0 up at it, but it's a good goal, so it's no luck around that goal. It's good play, and you can see some of the tactic that we have set up to do is that Arsenal pushes very high with all the players. There's loads of space on the sides and up, and we have been lucky with the win. It's kind of helped us a little bit. But a brilliant goal up. Should have had a penalty as well. Should have had a penalty.
Have been harshly dealt with a couple of decisions, but the cross from Bree was perfect. The finish from Stewart, calm and precise. And at half-time, the dream is alive on the 50th anniversary of the 1976 FA Cup win, the only win in the club's history. They are still in this tournament. Half-time in the quarter-final. Southampton 1, Arsenal 0.
This is BBC Radio Solent Sport.
Well. Saints are 45 minutes from Wembley. Ben on X says Ross Stewart is proving that when fully fit, he's a Premier League striker on his day. He's been unbelievable, says Ben, because the Loch Ness Drogba has scored the most important goal in a Southampton shirt.
Bree's got it, 20 yards out, tries to cross the back post, and it might come down. Shot! Saints lead! It's Ross Stewart again! Ben White misjudged the flight of the ball, and Stewart, who is the hero at Fulham, chests it down, and against the run of play, gives Southampton the lead with a volley past Kepa.
1-0 is how it stands to Southampton at home to Arsenal. Paul says, what a half. Hang in there, can get in behind White. Manning, keep your head, says Paul. 81333 on the text. Let's hear from you then. WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Solent your first word, at Solent Sport on X. And a reminder that if you subscribe right now to our Southampton BBC Sounds page, you'll get a notification as soon as Tonda Eckert, a player, and Going Home with Adam and Joe drops on BBC Sounds. And they are not the only team going for Wembley. AFC Stoneham booked their place in the home of football earlier in the FA Vars final. We'll have more on that soon and go through all the other FA Cup scores and sports news right across the country next. And we'll continue reading out your messages on the home of live sport across the south.
BBC Radio Solent Sport.
I'm Gabby Roslin.
And we're blue.
Join me for a very special Make a Difference show.
This will get the total to £2 million.
Some of the heroes of the Make a Difference Awards tell their stories to Blue.
I guess it's always kind of supporting each other and helping each other along.
Oh, definitely. It helps me just as much as it helps them.
Most people are like, this is amazing because it keeps you warm.
Make a Difference heroes meet Blue.
I like the name Cassandra because I'm a massive Fools and Horses fan.
How many times have you heard that?
Cassandra?
It didn't help. My first boyfriend's nickname was Trigger as well.
Oh, no! Listen on BBC Sounds. BBC Sounds.
Ian Wilding.
BBC Radio Solent Sport.
What an evening so far. Ross Stewart with the goal. This place absolutely erupted when he gave Southampton the lead in the FA Cup quarter-final against Arsenal. A reminder that the whole of Solent Sport tonight, including the commentary, you can listen to right across the UK on BBC Sounds and your smart speaker. Alex says, what a half. Tonda is getting it spot on, as predicted. 45 minutes from Wembley. Come on, lads, says Alex. An NZ Saints fan says, who says we're not ready to return to the Premier League? Jamie says, quality effort, stay strong, trying to get forward. Arsenal trying all their dark arts, which happens to be commonplace. We see this rubbish every week in the Championship, says Jamie. Let's hear from you on the text 81333, on WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Solent your first word, at Solent Sport on X. Chris in Southbourne says, great stuff Saints, halfway there, keep it going. Another goal early in the second half would be good. Fantastic, says this anonymous message. The other teams in the Championship looking at this game because this is sending a message to them and they won't want to play us in the playoffs, says this message. Julia from Warsash says, more of the same please. And John in Eastleigh says, get in Saints, keep the faith and defending. It is going to be a nerve-wracking but exciting 45 minutes to come with Adam Blackmore and Joe Tessam. Earlier today in the FA Cup, Manchester City 4, Liverpool 0 is how it finished. More on that soon. We'll hear from Erling Haaland, who scored a hat-trick. Antoine Semenyo, having arrived from Bournemouth in January, on the score sheet at South and providing an assist. And it was also Chelsea 7, Port Vale 0 at Stamford Bridge. So those are the FA Cup games earlier. Also, in cricket, Hampshire, they have a lot of batting to do to avoid defeat in their opening Championship game against Essex at Utilita Bowl. Essex declared on 461 for 7 after 138 overs. That's before Hampshire closed on 48 for 3. They are still 413 runs in arrears. The fast bowler Sonny Baker, who picked up 2 Essex wickets. We can hear from him in our sport bulletins tomorrow morning, or in our news bulletins I should say, tomorrow morning. Saying they have to stick together as a unit. So day 3 tomorrow gets underway at 11 o'clock and we'll have online commentary via the BBC Sport app. Solent Sport, BBC Radio Solent, Tommy and Wilding, keep those messages coming in, with Southampton leading by 1-0 against Arsenal at home. Who saw this coming? Well, to be honest, one or two of you did before the game. There was some optimism going into the match. Let's see what the second half can bring. And what about AFC Stoneham earlier? What a story that is, because they are definitely going to Wembley, the 9th tier team from the Wessex Premier League. They've reached the final of the FA Vars with a 3-1 victory over Hallen FC. It finished 6-1 on aggregate, and captain Alex Welch has been speaking to Cliff Pledge.
AFC Stoneham captain Alex Welch, many congratulations, you're going to Wembley.
Thank you very much. Pretty surreal feeling, to be honest. I can't really put it into words, but what an achievement for the boys. Fully deserved on the day. Really, really excited.
3-1, 6-1 on aggregate, and you got a couple yourself today.
Yeah, I did. And at half time, the boys were saying, "That is not you, Alex. What was that?" But yeah, a bit of composure on the first one, and then on the second one, I've been in many positions before where I've fluffed my line. So very happy to get the 2 goals, put us in a nice position.
Really good strike.
Yeah, lovely. I can't believe that second one came off so cleanly. First one, sorry, came off so cleanly, and then the second one, just took early and tucked in the corner.
Head in your hands, because you could have had a hat-trick in the last minute.
Oh my God, I know that header. The boys are saying you could get a perfect hat-trick, right foot, left foot and header. I thought, again, that's definitely not me, but nearly got the perfect hat-trick.
What does it mean to everybody?
I think you can see, look, everyone turned up in numbers. It looks a lot like purple out there. And like I just said at the top of the interview, what an achievement from everyone. Unbelievable.
Everyone's going to get a chance to play at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, what a weird thing to say, eh? Especially at the start of the season, wasn't our main objective, but we just kept our heads, got through rounds, and then, these last 2, I thought we were very, very good.
Boyhood dream for everyone, I guess.
Oh, you can say that again, yeah. What an achievement, what an achievement.
At what point did you actually think it was possible? From the outset or from the later rounds?
When we got through that Haywards Heath penalty shootout, we eradicated some demons from last year, and that's probably when the belief started, and then we got a home draw against Coventry, performed very, very well at that, and then this was our reward for 2 legs at Hallen, and then when it was announced that we had the second leg at home, that was just perfect for us.
Great celebrations. Well, how does this rank in your terms of your career?
Oh, absolutely top. Everyone just come up and said, Mr. Purple, given I've been here for 10 years, what a way to end the season. Unbelievable.
It isn't quite over yet, because there's still a league title, 3 other cups. Wembley's actually quite a way off. It's 5 or 6 weeks away. You've got to keep sort of focusing on everything else.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's just what we've been doing. We've been rolling into these games, having the momentum. I think I saw an interview with Mark, the chairman, just saying these games are just perfect for us. We just keep rolling, keep winning. Perfect.
Many congratulations. How will you all celebrate?
Thank you very much. I think a few beers. I think a lot of celebrations. So, I'm going to enjoy it.
They will. Alex Welch will enjoy that into the early hours, I'd have thought. AFC Stoneham are going to Wembley, beating Hallen FC 6-1 on aggregate, 3-1 on the day, and now play Fosters in the final in May. Well done to everybody at AFC Stoneham. That is a brilliant achievement, getting to Wembley and going so well in the Wessex Premier League. Brilliant stuff. Solent Sport, BBC Radio Solent, so they're going to Wembley for the FA Vars final. And in other non-league scores today, in the Isthmian League South Central, AFC Portchester winning 4-0 at home to Bedfont Sports. Horndean second from bottom before today, winning 2-1 at Kingstonian. Fareham already relegated, losing 5-0 at Ascot United. And congratulations to Moneyfield, who booked a playoff place with a 1-0 win at Hayes and Yedding. So that is confirmed for the Moneys. Some other sports news to bring you. Good news for Poole Pirates in Speedway, who beat Plymouth Gladiators for the second time in 24 hours. Last night they won by 4 points in the BSN Series at Wimborne Road to start their season, and tonight they've won after 15 heats 48-42 at the Coliseum. Brilliant at the Plymouth Gladiators. So well done to Poole Pirates. Good start for them in the BSN Series to start their campaign. A reminder, just before we hear from Erling Haaland, you can join Gabby Roslin and boy band Blue as well for some uplifting Make a Difference stories. They're hearing from inspiring award winners who've gone above and beyond for their communities. Make a Difference heroes meet Blue, and you can listen again on BBC Sounds. Now then, what about the earlier cup games? Manchester City beat Liverpool 4-0 in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Very easy win in the end. Erling Haaland scored a hat-trick for City at the Etihad Stadium, and here's what he had to say.
Amazing game, and from the final we showed great level today as well, so we need to keep building on this and keep going.
How important were your 2 goals and the timing of them just going into half-time?
Yeah, of course, it's ideal to score right before half-time, let's be honest about that, but I think the way we played, in, especially from 25 minutes, after 25 minutes, was amazing, so we need to be more consistent and do this even more.
Was the penalty a little psychological wear after what happened with the same goalkeeper in the Premier League game here?
You can say so, but you can also say in the last Liverpool game, I scored in the 95th minute, so maybe that was also a psychological thing for them.
What certainly is another match ball, 12 for Manchester City. I mean, that's incredible on the hat-trick front.
Yeah, I mean, super happy. It's been a while now. I didn't score a hat-trick for City, so I think it was about time, and of course it's nice to do against Liverpool.
And to get 4 against a team like them into another semi-final just caps off a brilliant day.
Yeah, I mean, to go to Anfield yet again, and for so many times Pep's done it with City for the last 10 years has been incredible. I mean, it's actually ridiculous when you look at the stats how many times we've been at Wembley.
23 on the
Pep. This is incredible. This is so consistent, and I think this is something that is more crazy than you actually think, because 23 times in 10 years is ridiculous.
Erling Haaland there after Manchester City beating Liverpool 4-0 in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup earlier. Here at St Mary's Stadium, Southampton lead Arsenal 1-0 in the FA Cup. We'll hand back in a couple of minutes to your commentary team for the second half. Ken has got in touch as the Arsenal players are just emerging here. Southampton players are imminent too. Ken says great first half from Saints. Arsenal are woeful at the back. Love the way Saints work hard for each other in defence as well as attacking, winning every second ball. Brilliant. More of the same in the second half. Good luck, says Ken. The sprinklers are out in full force, attacking some of those Arsenal players are out on the pitch. Saints are taking their time though. They're not out yet, but they do lead by 1-0. And a reminder, if you subscribe to our BBC Sounds page, you'll get a notification as soon as all of our post-match episodes drop, if you subscribe to our BBC Sounds Southampton page. So hopefully it'll be an optimistic, positive going home with Adam and Joe later. They've got 45 minutes to get the job done. Our Saints 45 minutes away from Wembley. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a hell of a second half, and you can listen on BBC Sounds and your smart speaker, FM, digital radio and preview. We're ready for the second half with Saints players out now as well. Your commentary team, Joe Tesson and Adam Blackmore.
Ian, thank you very much. Still very noisy in here. You wouldn't think the game was about to start. Arsenal players in a huddle in their own half now away to our left. No changes to either side at half time. So the Gunners having a word with themselves. Kepa, White, Mosquera, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, Norgard and Ødegaard, Daumann, Havertz, Martinelli and Jesus up front. Saints, Peretz in goal, Bree, Harwood, Bellis, Wood and Manning, Yander and Bragg, Fellows, Azaz, Cienza and Stewart. Interesting to see how long they leave it, Joe Tesson, without bringing, say, Shea Charles on for Cameron Bragg possibly, or maybe Larin on for Stewart. Be interesting to see how many minutes Stewart gets having scored the goal. So, Joe, what do you make of that? Now you've had time to collect your thoughts at half time, Joe. What do you make of where we are in this game and how well Saints have done?
Now we're defending well, Adam, and dealing with the problems coming away. There have been some opportunities for Arsenal, but the turn and the switch is on because they go so high and they leave Gabriel Mosquera by himself. And when we win the ball and can go forward, especially on the sides with pace, there is so much room. And James Bree on the goal got so much space, Adam. He could just walk into the Arsenal half before he crossed it into Ross Stewart scoring that goal. And absolutely brilliant. But you've got to take advantage. It's on all the time. Yeah, it's on. I wonder if it'll be on with the wind now, Joe. It'll be interesting to see if the game changes this direction. Saints playing right to left, maybe into that wind, like Arsenal possibly were in the first half. Yeah, but the thing is, Adam, Arsenal is not going to hit long balls. And that's maybe, the difference. Yeah. Ball played into feet to Gabriel Jesus, comes to inside his own half. Arsenal team, remember, lost in the League Cup final 2 weeks ago at Wembley against Manchester City. They were on for a quadruple, a treble. Now they're halfway to it being an attempted double in the Champions League and the Premier League. The Premier League, funnily enough, of course, which has evaded them for 22 years, Joe, is the one they're absolutely nailed on to win. One game against Man City to get through, and you'd think with a 9-point cushion, if they don't lose that, they'll be home and hosed. Yeah, but it's not easy to win everything out of it. Of course. It's almost impossible in today's football. Well, let's hope it's impossible for them to win the FA Cup. Here's Martin Ødegaard, who was trying so hard, having come back into the team tonight, having been injured before the break.
to make things tick for them, and the ball coming to Dowman on this right-hand side. Back into Mosquera on halfway. Yes, Joe.
But given the ball, because he keeps the ball too long, Martin Ødegaard today. He's wanting the ball, but he slows the game down, which is good for us.
Yeah. Saints intercept the ball forward from Arsenal as Az takes it. He's got a lovely touch he's had tonight. His feet, fast feet. Referee playing advantage, but it's not there. So I say, White, if there's no advantage, give Saints the free kick. What's the advantage of playing it back into their own half? Stewart did well to lay it off inside his own half up against Norgard.
He's clever in that role, Ross Stewart. He gets there, he gets first, he gets enough at him, and gets on the ball and holds the ball up and makes a brilliant pass as well.
Wood in for Stevens tonight, gives it to Manning. Manning slides it down this left wing for Cienza, who skins Ben White and turns him. That's a free kick, and Ben White surely has got to start going in the book. Now the referee's asking for the yellow balloons to be taken off the pitch. He ought to be pointing to Ben White from the first half and saying those were 3 or 4 your fouls. You're now going in the book for repeated fouling.
Good pass up to Cienza, little flick with his heel through and kind of lets the ball run through. Changes direction on the ball and then goes through Ben White's legs, and then with pace he runs around him, Adam. And then Ben White has no other choice to foul him.
He's got to give him a yellow card for that one. He's past the player and he's not trying to play the ball, he's dragging Cienza back. He's been very weak, Sam Barrett, with Arsenal. It's a bit Premier League perspective, I'm afraid, from the refereeing so far. Doesn't want to upset Mikel Arteta. We're more worried about upsetting him than Tondereka. 49th minute.
Be a referee.
Yeah. Exactly. Manning puts the free kick in towards the Arsenal penalty area. There was a tussle there between Howard Bellis and Norgard, and it's actually Cienza who lets it go out of play, and he's got a man running into the box for him. There's Manning trying to get there, Manning, and he's been booked, so he's got to be careful with his challenge. Arsenal trying to play its way out from trouble. Dowman shows good skill. Just about gets it to Jesus. That's nice play from Arsenal under pressure. Saints trying to press them near their own penalty area. Arsenal playing out of it. Jesus somehow got it past 4 yellow shirts. Gives it to Ødegaard, who pushes it on further to Gabriel. And the Brazilian centre-back slides it down that far left-hand side to Miles Lewis-Skelly, who's got ahead of him. Lewis-Skelly fouled, tripped up by Tom Fellows. The referee, if he's going to be lenient on Ben White, he's got to be lenient on Fellows. No yellow card. Free kick Arsenal, 1-0 Saints, 5th minute of the second half. BBC Radio Solent, BBC Sounds, Adam Blackmore and Joe Tesson.
Yeah, I wonder what way the wind is on the pitch, Adam. Whether there is wind at the moment, it doesn't look like it.
It's died down a bit, which is good.
The thing is, you can have no wind in the corners, but you can have wind on the middle of the pitch,
which
is a bit weird.
Flags, yeah. 50th minute, it's another set-piece opportunity for Arsenal. 7 corners in the first half. Saints defended successfully, but this is the free kick 10-15 yards outside the penalty area, left-hand side, dummy, then Ødegaard crosses it left-footed, it comes off a head and loops to Peretz. Thank you very much. He says, I'll snap that up, snaffle it up, gobble it up, take it easily, no problems.
Yeah, there's Ødegaard who flicked on the bad free kick from Martin Ødegaard there. Easy for Paris just to pick it up inside the 6-yard box.
I like the way Saints have mixed it up, Joe. You talked about the long ball, but I like Tondereka for realising that he might get one-on-one at that end of the pitch and not worrying about how pretty the football is sometimes, playing effective football rather than trying to play to a mantra or to a style you think you need to stick to.
No, but he's playing a tactic to the style which is correct.
Now Cienza's giving it away. Ødegaard has it, squares it to Martinelli, centre of the park, just north of the centre circle in the Saints half. Yellow shirts get back behind the ball, it slows down a bit. Norgard exchanges passes with Lewis-Skelly, still got it, and Gabriel's urging him to play it out to the left wing, but he goes inside to Norgard, who almost gets caught on the ball, gets out of that tight situation. Mosquera then side foots it onto Ben White, midway inside the Saints half beneath us, on this near side now. Arsenal attacking the northern end away to our right. Dowman held up by Manning, goes back inside. Arsenal, despite being 1-0 down to Southampton, still being patient, playing their football. And then Gabriel's clearance is just lumped into the Kingsland stand, way too much on it as the wind gets up, and probably did catch it. 6 minutes gone in the second half. Saints 1, Arsenal 0. And if it stays like this second half is going to be the slowest second half we've had for a long time.
Yeah, but we have corrected our midfield, Adam. I think Cameron Bragg and Caspian are much more positionally correct now in terms of what they did first half, when they were running a little bit headless, and that caused problems for us. We have sorted that out. They're more patient, stay in the position, wait till people come into their zones, and that's how you got to play.
Yeah, Arsenal through Gabriel Jesus, holding off the attentions of Tom Fellows. Playing it on the left wing, Arsenal now. They have it out there with Gabriel Martinelli. Jesus went on a run and had to check to stay onside. Martinelli, though, dragging Fellows down the line. Goes on his outside, hangs it up left-footed, lovely cross. Odegaard misses it, back to Dowman. His shot is blocked, and blocked brilliantly by Manning, and it balloons off Manning's leg and goes into the northern end for an Arsenal corner, their 8th of the night.
Yeah, good cross from Martinelli on the back post, and I think Manning comes a little bit too tight into the middle there with Wood, and that means Doman is just standing on the back, and the ball lands in his pathway, and he can have a shot. But Manning does well because he then has to block it afterwards. So first he wins the header, and then he blocks the shot. Well defended. All
hands to the pump. It's another Arsenal corner. This one with this wind gusting towards the goal for Peretz to deal with, and Martinelli. Is he taking it just... I don't understand this modern thing, Joe, of having to try and place it out of the quadrant. Just put it down and take the kick. It's pathetic how they do this. Why don't they just stick it another 2 inches in? Well, that's better. What difference does it make? Just take the foot. Just doesn't matter. Here's Martinelli eventually going to take it, wasting his own time with Arsenal a goal down. He can have 40 goes at it as far as I'm concerned. Then takes the corner. It's nasty. Peretz gets a punch away. Back out to Gabriel Martinelli with his gloves on. Now he's faced by Fellows again. Fellows needs to try and stop him getting the cross in or get to the byline. He goes to the byline. He nicks it past him. And then defensive help comes in the form of Ryan Manning again. And Saints can try and break. Oh, given away by Finn Azar's got that one all wrong. And Lewis Skelly turns away from the attentions of Ross Stewart, and Arsenal then give it away. Lewis Skelly plays it out of play past its intended target, Max Dowman, and Saints have a throw inside their own half.
Yeah, and Finn has got to be braver there, Adam, and I think now Tom Fellows needs to learn that Martinelli's got to go on the outside. You got to show him inside. You show him too much. I know he's quick, Adam, so it's easy to sit there and say it, but yeah. I think Tom Fellows is showing too much down the line. Make him go inside, and that is dangerous because he gets to finishing.
Now, that throw from Manning was flicked on inadvertently by Norgard into the path of Azaz, and now Cienza has it up against Ben White. Short ball to Yanda. Saints operating in the Arsenal half below us on this left-hand side for Southampton, and then they're pushed back by Arsenal's press. And Manning goes back in field, but they've kept possession and they can switch it out to the right-hand side. And Harwood Bellis finds James Bree, drifts in field, drags Martinelli with him. He's got Bragg behind him, and the young Scot squares it to Nathan Wood. Nathan Wood to Harwood Bellis, the two former England under 21 players, operating together in the Cup for the second game in a row after doing it at Craven Cottage. And the same score that Saints won with them, they have now against Arsenal, and the same goal scorer. That's a good tackle, and now Saints can break through Cienza. He's got two men making runs, one of them's Fellows, but he's put it too far ahead, and the goalkeeper did brilliantly. And Saints need to make sure they can get the ball, and they do, as Peretz judges the flight of the long clearance from Kepa.
Kepa, long ball, keeps flying like he did first half. A bit dangerous, Adam, and it was caught out a little bit, but Peretz dealt with it. It was so long it went into Peretz, but Peretz was already ready to come out, which I like with him. He reads the situation and dropped back and picked it up and made it easy for us.
Yeah.
No panic.
Saints have only had 13 incursions into the Arsenal penalty area in this game, but they lead 1-0. 14 shots Arsenal have had to Saints 4, but only 4 on target for the Gunners and 2 for Saints. It's a more even contest than those amount of shots would tell you. Flick on from Stewart to nobody in a yellow shirt. So with over 10 minutes gone now in the second half, it's still Southampton leading Arsenal by 1-0 on BBC Radio Solent and BBC Sounds. FA Cup quarter-final drama unfolding at St Mary's as Gander makes a strong challenge and there's no foul, and Saints can break. It's actually 5-on-4. He's got a man to his right in Fellows. He's got 3 to his left. He finds Fellows. He looks to cross it, comes off the retiring defender Gabriel, and goes out for a Southampton corner at the Chapel end. Nice break from Saints, and they're at the right end of the pitch. Set piece they have themselves, and I think Manning will go across to take it.
Yeah, and brilliant. That's what I was talking about with Caspian, that he needs to be smart in his positioning play. Because he is smart in his positioning play, he's able to interfere with the ball and the tackle, and wins the ball, goes in and takes the ball and creates a turnover, Adam, and that's what he's got to do. That comes from your positioning play.
Yeah, it's better play from the under. By the way, Saints taking an age to take the corner. There's the professional play starting early. Manning thinking he's not taking it. Cienza asking each other. It is going to be a Cienza outswinger. He takes it short back to Bragg. Bragg back to Cienza. Now he's got it on the right. Lovely cross. Flicked across the penalty area and out on the far side for a Southampton throw. Defensive header got it away. Edvard Schmidt next to us. Love that little cheeky short corner.
Eddie the Eagle, he loves things like that. It's a good ball. It's good corner. And when Cienza gets it back, he puts a decent curl into the middle area, and we had a lot of people in there, so that anything can happen when that cross goes in.
58th minute, 1-0 to Saints. Manning near the corner flag, receives it back from his own throw and then crosses, and the heads go into the near post, and Stewart's there, and it's the defender Mosquera who cleared it once more over his own crossbar, getting ahead of the Scot, and it's another Southampton corner, and their set piece is giving Arsenal as much trouble as Arsenal's have given Southampton.
Yeah, and we are putting pressure on Arsenal now, Adam. We are
again survived the first 10 minutes, and now they're coming stronger again.
And that comes from positioning play from Caspian. They're winning the ball, robbing the ball and driving forward. And from that we have had now 2 good opportunities, 2 good corners, 1 short, 1 long. And now we got
another long one from Manning.
Now the Manning in swinging.
And with the wind the way it's going, it's not easy to defend. This could almost end up judging the where the ball's going to come down is tough. Manning's going to whip it in with that left foot, heart of the penalty area. Came off Ben White, I think, and then headed back towards the box, and it will be caught by the goalkeeper Kepa, who will bowl it out, try and get Arsenal going. Ødegaard's there, plays it forward early to Havertz. Havertz just over halfway on the left, coming inside, waiting for some support. The yellow shirts got back, and Bragg did really well to track Havertz's run.
Yeah, and the pressure on Ødegaard was good as well, because you stopped him from playing that long ball as well. So brilliant stop off a counter-attack, Adam.
Yeah, it's alertness, isn't it? That's what I like about it. They're all absolutely thinking with the clear heads.
And calmness
yes.
when you need it as well. Don't panic because they are going forward. Just stop and assess what's going on, and that's...
Oh, that's a terrible pass from the defender. And here's Tom Fellows in the box. Oh, he's blasted it over. Oh, that would have been such a bonus for Saints. Mosquera squared it across his own half to Tom Fellows, and Fellows really had to do better. Either put it on target or give it to Finazaz. Triple change now with an hour gone from Arteta. But Fellows, he's got no other choice but to shoot, but why not go low to the near post, Joe? He's blasted it high.
Yeah, it's over the target. I think keeper would have saved it if he was on the... But he, like you said, he just needs to get the ball inside the post and hit the target. He doesn't know.
Jesus off, Lewis Skelly off, I think, and Ødegaard, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So... And three changes.
I'm not surprised with Martin Ødegaard coming in. He has Jesus coming off because he hasn't been involved at all. Martin Ødegaard has slowed the game down, so I can see why he's making the changes. Is just his ruthless Arteta.
Yeah, Gyökeres coming on, Madueke coming on. It's not a bad bench, is it? No. And also Calafiori coming on at left back.
And the wind is playing a part in their passing for Arsenal. It's making it really difficult on the pitch.
Yeah, they're going long now with Ben White up towards the halfway line. Nice header from Howard Bellis, did well against Gyökeres. Remember, Gyökeres has a goal here for Coventry in the FA Cup a few years ago, as the clearance from Perez somehow went up towards halfway. Yander gets in there, wins it, plays it to Cienza. Cienza's still got it, White can't stop him. Suddenly Arsenal are backtracking and getting into their own box. Cienza curls it off the crossbar and over into the chapel end, and Saints so close to a second goal again. Lovely play from Southampton.
And we are playing the best attacking football, Adam. Brilliant plays, keep the ball. Ross Stewart keeps the ball from Arsenal getting the ball. Caspian robs it in kind of went back after the long ball from Perez into Cienza, who drives down the line. Has Ben White on toast here, Adam. He drops his shoulder to the left, goes inside and curls the ball into the crossbar. Very close from being 2-0.
Wow, what a difference that second goal would make as well. And they've had 2 great chances in the space of a couple of minutes, Fellows, but it's got to give them encouragement. They can still find more. Fellows and Cienza both had golden chances.
Concentration though, Adam, you've got to keep your concentration when you don't score.
Slides it down the right wing, working with Dowman. He's gone on the outside of Yanda. Dowman checks back onto his left foot in the box, coming inside towards the penalty spot. Yanda's there, still can't stop him. Dowman across the 6-yard area, half a clearance, and Martinelli then smashes it into the northern end, over the bar, but I think he's given a free kick anyway, the referee for handball.
Martinelli picks it up with his hand, and Dowman, you got to Caspian the lippy weak there when he goes down the side first, he gets turned, and when he can win the ball, he doesn't win it, Adam, and Dowman can cross it. Luckily, I think Howard Bellis sticks his leg out and it goes in the air, and that's when Martinelli picks it up with his hand and has a shot. But
we are nearly 63 minutes into this FA Cup quarter-final, and Championship side Southampton still lead the runaway Premier League leaders Arsenal. Arsenal have only lost to Manchester City in the League Cup final, to Villa and Liverpool and Manchester United in the Premier League. That's it this season, unbeaten in the Champions League. And they're flying high, and Saints lead them with 27 minutes of normal time to go, and they've given it away again, Arsenal. This time Kai Havertz gives it to Azaz midway inside the Arsenal half. Finn Azaz, who had a horrible moment having a penalty saved in the World Cup playoff last week for the Republic. This would really put him back on track if he could have an influence in this game and Saints win. Him and Manning and Shea Charles.
And we're dominating this half so far, and we've been the better side the second half. We created opportunities and been very clever in our way of playing football.
And look, Arsenal heads down as Yanda plays it out to Cienza. Cienza dragging Ben White in, goes back towards halfway. Saints bench not used, let long the keeper. Then Larin, Kwasi, Archer, Adozi, Charles Romeu, Jay Robinson back, Nicholas Oyakunle. So Saints still have it, and they've not made any changes. And Azaz trying to get there, the referee says no foul. Azaz was pulled back, I thought, by Havertz, and now Arsenal can break through the fresh legs of Noni Madueke. Madueke driving, Wood back with him, still going, gets through on the outside of Wood, and he's put too much on it, and Wood did well to stay on his feet. And it goes out for a goal kick, and he did enough to put Madueke off, and Peretz gives him a high five. It's 1-0 Saints.
Yeah, Madueke gets down the side and loses his footing, Adam, and Wood was kind of done there, Adam, because he could have crossed the ball. Cameron Bragg played a difficult ball into Ross Stewart where they lost it, but I think Manning made a massive mistake on the left back because he rushed in thinking he could win it. He was totally outplayed, and that's why Madueke could go down that right hand side for Arsenal. More patience there for Manning, and be a little bit smarter. You don't need to go all the way up and be the highest person to press.
Goal kicks aren't going as far, Joe, that's for sure. From Perez, that didn't even make halfway. Yanda flicked it on, and then Stewart's done well to stop the pot pass from Norgard. And Stewart will get it back. 3 to his left, edge of the box on the right. Low ball in, comes off a defensive head, I think Gabriel. Cienza does well, trying to flick it away from Ben White. Tussling away on this near side. He's got it back, Cienza. Red and white shirts in front of him en masse, so he goes back to Cameron Bragg. Adozi and Larin waiting to come on for Southampton. 66th minute of this game. It's still 1-0 to Southampton. It could have been 2 had Fellows or Cienza converted their great opportunities in the second half.
And we're being smart now with the ball, and you can see the pressure from Arsenal is not there anymore like it was first half.
The pressure's gone.
They have stood still, Adam. It looked tired.
With Bellis, he's giving it away. Now that is a disaster. Here's Max Dowman, he's got Wood backpedaling, cuts into the top of the D, tries to play it across to Victor Gyökeres, and Manning can clear, and Harwood Bellis puts his hand up to apologise. And Manning's clearance gets a free kick for Saints because he's played it to Cienza, and Ben White, frankly, quite stupidly, has made it easy for Cienza to win the free kick when he could have kept him under pressure in his own half. So Saints will take the escape. Larin and Adozi wait to come on. Couple more Arsenal players warming up, and the referee telling Saints to get on with it. Peretz comes out of his penalty area.
Yeah, but that's the mistake we cannot afford to do, Adam.
Yes, shocker. But he does that, I would say, almost once a game, and they've got away with it more in the latter half of the season.
Yeah, but we recovered well, which is good to see, though. We've got to recover.
Now that header forward from Norgard is taken by Bragg, and then Bragg gives it away Too slow to get it away before Madueke closed him down. Off Madueke to Dowman. Dowman going through. Yanda can't stop him. Madueke has it again. Right-hand corner of the box. Saints make their own worst enemies at the moment. Shot half cleared, blocked, and then belted away by Southampton. Back to halfway. And they just can't go too deep now. They've got to make sure the passes are accurate. They can't keep giving the ball away. That's 3 times in the last 5 minutes in their own half. And they've invited Arsenal back into the game. 68th minute, Arsenal through on the left, pulled back, 1-1. We have a game and Arsenal are back in it. And Victor Gyökeres has scored, having just come off the bench a few minutes before. Saints eventually get punished for giving the ball away. 3 times in 5 minutes they've done that. And finally Arsenal have taken advantage, and the substitute and their top scorer Victor Gyökeres, who scored here for Coventry in the Cup, has now levelled things in this quarter-final. Southampton 1, Arsenal 1.
Totally disorganised there, Adam, and Havertz just runs through and serves for Gyökeres, who just puts it in the net. A brilliant run by Havertz there, and then Cameron Bragdon is not able to pick him up and stay with his run, Adam. It's unfortunate for him, but a good pass, and gets all the way into Perez and sucks Perez out of goal and just lays it back off to Gyökeres, who just has an open goal to put it in. Brilliant play by Arsenal, and it comes because we lose the ball, like you said, Adam.
Now what a test this is of Southampton. We're into the last quarter of the game. It is all square. FA Cup quarter-final, a place at Wembley in the semi-finals at stake. Southampton, don't make no mistake, are absolutely in this game despite Arsenal's equaliser. They just need to do what they've done so well under Tom Drecker, which is not panic when they concede and get them back into their game. Perez clears, slips, but it's not bad. It finds Ross Stewart, comes down. There was more time then for a call to get the ball back, and now Saints in the middle of the park looking worryingly again, Joe, precarious and a little bit flat. Cameron Bragg just gave it away poorly under no pressure. I think he's tired. Havertz out to Madueke.
And it started with the missed pass, Adam, and positioning play and losing the ball a couple, and then suddenly your confidence went from being very high and playing good football, suddenly you drop it and you lose it.
Ben White 35 yards out. Arsenal trying to play through Southampton, but they've given it away. Good play from Finn Azaz. He's got Cienza ahead of him. Azaz approaches halfway. He's over halfway. Has to go inside to Stewart. Stewart spots the early pass. Couldn't get it though to Bree. Nice idea, but under hit. And Arsenal try and clear. Yanda makes half a challenge on Norgard, but he doesn't come away with the ball. Then there's another tackle. I thought he got the ball. And the referee said no, free kick. We're going to have these subs now for Saints. Coming on is Adozie and Larin. So the goal scorer has lasted nearly 70 minutes, and Ross Stewart's great finish to give Saints the lead. What a moment that was in the first half. And on comes Kyle Larin, who I suspect will start at Wrexham, and also coming off is Cienza, and Adozie on for him, but that makes sense as well, having him come back from injury.
No, it doesn't make any sense taking him off now, Adam. You've got to have he's been playing brilliantly, Adam. Doesn't matter if he's come back from injury or wheelchair or whatever. He should be on the pitch. It's so good. You cannot take off good players when you have a tight game, Adam.
Well, we've got Gabriel down injured, so you don't approve of that substitution?
No, I think it's wrong. At
1-1 you wouldn't do it. Maybe if Arsenal were 3-0 up you would, wouldn't you? With Tuesday in mind, you take off your key players.
That makes sense.
But not in this.
No, absolutely wrong decision. He's been playing brilliantly, Cienza. It's causing so many problems for Ben White and the Arsenal defence. You're
right. Ben White will be delighted to see him gone, won't he? Now, it's really the first stoppage of the game, Joe, isn't it? We've hardly had an injury stoppage or anything. Well, we've got it now with Gabriel getting some treatment, Mikel Arteta giving instructions out, Arsenal warming up and readying another substitute. So we're going to have some stoppage time now, because this is the first time we've had a proper stoppage in the game. We only had 1 minute at the first half, but we've already had 6 substitutions it's about to be, plus this injury. We're looking for at least 5 minutes now, I think, at the end of this game. And remember, it's 1-1 and we're heading to extra time as things stand, and William Saliba is about to come on.
Yeah, I think
for
Gabriel. For his injury is something wrong there. He couldn't play anymore, so he's come off, and Saliba is coming on for Gabriel.
Like for like. So it's Mosquera and Saliba now.
That goal Arsenal scored is really annoying, Adam. It's a brilliant run, but it could have been avoided in so many areas.
I know. It started with Harwood Bellis's sideways pass to Arsenal that put him under pressure.
Yeah.
Then there was a clearance from Bragg, I think, that didn't get anywhere. And then there was the pass from Stewart to Bree. They just invited pressure, didn't they?
Yeah,
they invited
but then when you are organised, you got to talk. We fell asleep there, Adam, for the pass and the run and for what happened afterwards, and that you get punished for in football.
Yeah. 73rd minute, game back underway. Gabriel off the pitch, Saliba on. No weakening of the team there for Arsenal. Norgard short pass to Calafiori. The Italian came on at sub at left back. Now Ben White has it. Booed by England fans last week. Scored for England. Gave away a penalty for England. Now there's a little 1-2 in the middle of the park. That's nice play from Arsenal. And Calafiori involved in it. And here's Martinelli in the box, tackled well. And James Bree deals with it, still has the ball. Provided the pass of the game, really, Bree, with that for Ross Stewart's opener. Then the clearance, though, intercepted by Norgard. You can see Arsenal got an extra half a yard of pace from that goal. But that's excellent play in the middle of the park for Saints from Cameron Bragg. And then nicely helped on by Edozie. And Manning's on the overlap, driving in the Arsenal half. Checks. Could have put the ball in, gives it to Azaz, nice pass. Here's Yanda, he's going to go first time out to Fellows, up against Calafiori. Fellows, can he incite a problem for Arsenal? Crosses to the back post and it's put behind by the Gunners for a corner to Saints, and Ben White couldn't take any chances. And Southampton come back well from conceding that equaliser, and they have a chance from the set piece here.
Yeah, good build-up play, no panic, Adam. Don't play panic football. You've got to be controlled in what you do, and that's what we did. We played it up to Tom Fellows on the side, and he's one-on-one like Calafiori, and he can just take him on, cross the ball. Good cross. Not enough people in the box to put it in. Need someone on the back post there, Adam. And
where was Larin? Needed Larin there to barge his way at the back post.
Good play, Adam.
74 minutes about to tick over, and Saints have a corner. It's Jamesbury will whip in to my left at this chapel end with his right foot, hangs it to the back stick. Goldie had a little flap. Kepa got a touch. It will be cleared by Arsenal. Madueke sends it down the wing. Too much on it. Oh, why did Yanda do that? I'm not sure he had to, but it went past Martinelli. I thought Yanda could have just tapped that to Fellows to then put Saints back on the offensive, but he's put it out and Saints will reorganise. It's an Arsenal throw back inside their own half on the far side, front of the Kingsland stand. Premier League champions elect, with just over 15 minutes to...
You call them
well, they're going to win that. They're 9 points clear. I say it in the hope that they seem managed to blow things they shouldn't, but I think this time it's theirs. Anyway, they're a very good side.
Is that a reference to the election in the United States? Is that what you use?
No, I'm not any reference. We don't do politics on this show. 75th minute, you can keep that to yourself. Ball with White down the side, and then good tackling from Saints, and then a lovely pass out to Larin short of halfway, and Carl Larin just panics a little bit under pressure from Norgard and sent his pass waywardly across to the far side and out for an Arsenal throw on halfway. Now here is Shea Charles. I thought he should have just come on with the other two, Joe. I didn't see. Cameron Bragg, 75 minutes, comes off.
Yeah, I think it's a good decision. He's struggled a little bit the last 10 minutes, but he's had a good game, Adam. I had a little bit of a headless running period, but managed to get organised and get back into it. And
right, well, it's been quite a night. Quite a night
curve
for the youngster, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you imagine Charles getting 15 minutes, Joe. I'm thinking on Tuesday it's Charles and Downs starting in midfield at Wrexham. That's the way I'm thinking of it, which is nothing wrong with that. 15 minutes to go. Cameron Bragg, big night for him. The new James Ward-Prowse, as we're calling him. 76 minutes, and it's 1-1 still. This cup tie, beautifully balanced. Saints have actually had the better clear-cut chances despite Arsenal's domination in certain areas of the pitch and the amount of shots they've had. You think about Saints with the penalty appeal in the 3rd minute. Think about Fellows through on goal from a bad back pass from Arsenal and blasted over the bar. Then Cienza curled one onto the crossbar. They've had some great chances to go 2-0 up before Gyökeres equalised, Joe, and they might rue those at the end of the night, of course, because if they'd gone 2-0 up, the game's completely different.
Yeah, it puts the game in a different perspective, but
yeah. Can they get a famous win, though? in the 50th anniversary of the best underdog FA Cup side Southampton have produced. A second division club in the old days. For those of you too young to remember, that's what the Championship used to be called. They beat Aston Villa in the third round and then Manchester United in the final as a second division team to win the FA Cup for the only time in the club's history, and 3 finalists apart from that. Even I don't remember the 1900 final, as Madueke goes to the byline and can't keep it in. Goal kick Saints. Of course, they lost the final you played in, Joe, in 2003 at Cardiff at the Millennium Stadium. And then 1900, just before you were born, Joe, in 1902, they lost 2 finals, Saints. But really, that's why 76 is so special. When you're a club that's been around as long as Southampton, been in the top flight for so many years, but only 1 FA Cup ever. And at a time when they weren't even a top flight club.
Yeah.
Special day.
Yeah, but it shows that everything is possible in football. You've got to believe whether you...
Anything can happen, Joe, as you like to sing in the car.
I always
or
say
away
that in the car.
Yeah, 78th minute.
Yeah, and you got to say it now.
I got, 78th minute. Harwood Bellis heads ball towards halfway. Adozie gets a foul.
Ben White, how many more?
If I see the referee later, I'll be tempted to... I've never spoken to a ref after a game, but I'll go, Sam, how many fouls does Ben White have to make to get a throw? What was the threshold? 47? To get a yellow card? Another change for Arsenal coming up, because the excellent Martin Zubimendi is coming on for Havertz. 78 minutes gone. Remember, managers will start thinking about who's on the pitch for extra time in a minute. 5th sub for Arsenal.
Yeah, and Havertz, I'm quite happy with that, because he's actually played quite well.
Yeah, which is rare, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah. He's been
he's a frustrating player, Kai Havertz.
No, but he's been causing problems for us, and he's gone off now, so I'm quite happy with that.
Zubimendi only cost 60 million, so he's coming off the bench. 79th minute, Saints trying to play forward to Larry, and he hasn't been as sharp as Stuart so far since he's been on.
That is the difference with him and the Stuart. It looks a bit quicker and sharper, like you say, Adam, and he's stronger to get in when there's 50-50s. He seems to get in there with his feet and win the ball or keep the ball. Or
not just the goal, but before the goal, I thought he had a really good game, Ross Stewart, holding the ball up, bringing players into the game,
and works hard as well.
Works hard. Some decent passes. Max Dowman's been quiet in the second half, and Yando robs him. Yando goes over halfway. There's a ball through the middle to play, and he couldn't get the angle he wanted to find Carl Larin. I'm not saying Larin would have got there actually ahead of the pace.
No, and that's Larin's problem. Probably with the pace, Adam. He needs to be. He hasn't got that great pace. I think
Saliba would have got there.
Saliba would have got there.
Yeah. And now here is Martin Zubimendi.
But it shows that pace is so important in football.
And the Spaniard plays it out to his right-hand side. Here is William Saliba. He gets himself in a bit of a pickle, getting around Finn Azaz. Has to go back inside to Christian Norgard. Norgard in the centre circle, just gets a little 1-2 back from Zubimendi. And then here's Saliba again. Saints just sitting in. The Frenchman gets it back, Saliba. Joined Arsenal years ago now, 7 years ago, 2019, from Saint-Etienne, and they paid 25 million for him then when he was a kid. His ball forward is intercepted by Manning, and it's fallen well to Saints, and Larian just laid it off for Azaz, and he's not going to get there as he towed it too far, and Norgard cut off the space and beat Azaz to the ball. 80 minutes have ticked over. It is Southampton 1, Arsenal 1 in the FA Cup quarter-final on BBC Radio Solent and BBC Sounds. Joe.
Yeah, Norgard is picking up a good position in midfield. He picks up second balls and wins it back for them, and kind of distributes the ball and circles it into areas. And
that's a poor pass from Calafiore, and in the end it's sent down the line by White, who just thought he'd put it in the mixer, and he did well to just create a problem for Saints out of nothing. Gets it again, Ben White. Madueke tackled by Manning. Larin can't get there. Little shirt pull from Saliba, no one saw. Arsenal still keep it, but they're back on halfway.
And you can see now with Ben White, much easier job for him now, because Cienzo is not pushing it backwards.
And he can go forward now.
He can go forward, which is the change with Edozie coming on.
Yeah, because Edozie hasn't got in the Arsenal half with the ball yet, really. He's been too busy worrying about White and Madueke.
He's come on and done a defensive job, if you like.
Which is fine, because he's got fresh legs to do that. 82nd minute. But can Saints find a cutting edge in the final third. They haven't done for about 10 minutes. As Arsenal, with their substitutions, look a bit fresher. Zubimendi, lovely play. Martinelli's ball poor though. Saints defended that well. Azaz needs to clear this. He's under pressure and he plays a lovely ball down the right wing. What a great pass for Shea Charles, and he could have played it early and looked for a long ball to Larry, and he didn't. Waits for support. I like that. Still going, Shea Charles. Good ball in the end. He finds Fellows, comes off the right wing, going across, which no yellow shirt to pass to inside. Has to go back to Nathan Wood. Wood turns away from Madueke and the fans groan because they're back on halfway, but I say don't groan. You've got 8 minutes left to support your team to get them through to extra time. That's the first objective.
And this is a sign for me that Arsenal is also tired. They're not chasing, and Howard Bellis can just put his foot on the ball and wait.
Yeah, and Arteta urging players, look forward to the ball. He's ridiculous. He's out of his technical area. He's chaos, isn't he, Arteta? Ball flicked over the top by Azaz, but no yellow shirt judging it, running onto it. Why is he allowed to do that? Look at him, Arteta, Joe. He's constantly out of his technical area.
Yeah.
Fourth official needs to get a grip. Oh, Thomas Bramall. Now that ball goes under Shea Charles and allows Max Dowman to take it down the right wing. Madueke outside him. They're almost playing with two wingers, Arsenal, out here. Madueke in field, dropped off for Dowman. Saints slow to shut him down, so he shoots, and Peretz makes a great save, diving to his right. Put it behind for a corner, but where was the closing down on the 16-year-old? Who whipped it left-footed towards the corner. It was going in, and Daniel Peretz, like he's done so many times since joining Saints, keeps him in a game with a really good save.
It's a save you've got to make, and he does that, but he curls with the wind, and it's hard from Max Dowman. He just curls it beautifully, but too much space again at him, like it was on the goal. He gets a little 1-2 there with the ball with Madueke on the side and gets it back, and just kind of walks into the 18-yard box 2 yards outside it and shoots. Too easy.
Arsenal, they're looking for another short corner. They're taking ages over the corner. They do make a short one between three of them. They come back inside to Madueke. Then that's clever. Back it goes to Martinelli, and he's wide. But that was a beautifully worked corner because they sucked players out to that far side. And Martinelli, who started the corner, then jogged back in field, Joe. No one picked him up. So when he collects it, if you look at the replay, he's got a chance to just turn and hit it. And Saints are lucky he was off target.
Yeah, it just we are struggling a little bit with the short corners, but
it's the switching on, isn't it? You've got to concentrate and track your man, and
it's pretty easy as well. It's just one ball, turn and run inside and get the ball on the movement of the ball I
guess though, Joe, 85th minute, 1-1. Saints players are given absolutely everything to make it a brilliant cup tie. They're still in it with a chance of winning it. There are going to be some tired minds as well as tired bodies. As Charles gets it from Larin, tries to Azaz's touch fell kindly to Fellows. Fellows in the box, squares it. There's a chance. Yes, Southampton had the lead, and it's Shea Charles again. He knows how to score a special goal, to Shea Charles. That is brilliant from Southampton. Caught Arsenal on the counter-attack. He scored the winner at Leicester in the most amazing comeback. He's now got the winner, possibly against Arsenal, in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. And it could be a moment of history for Southampton. Saints 2, Arsenal 1.
And it's a brilliant play up to Larin, who holds the ball up, he lays it up to Yando, who then plays it to finish. That little flick onto Tom Fellows, who drives inside at him. And what's good with all of this is that we all go forward. We all running forward. Tom Fellows lets the ball go in the right moment to Shea Charles. Has a touch, passes it into the right corner for the keeper. 2-1 at him.
Wow.
Brilliant attack.
Wow. What a moment. What a moment, and what a lovely goal. 3 or 4 yellow shirts all running together. Fellows held his nerve, kept his cool, drove in the box, and Arsenal couldn't commit to him. And then he just slides it into Charles' path. I mean, after what he did at Leicester with that winner, he's done it again in the FA Cup.
It's good goal because we go forward at him. And Tom Fellows drives in there at him, puts Arsenal on the back heel. Brilliant pass, brilliant touch, and it's a brilliant goal.
Such a calm finish. The Leicester one, just curled it with his left. That was right. And it's quite a special night now. 87th minute. Southampton's season doesn't want to end. They lead Arsenal by 2-1. We could be on air till 1 o'clock in the morning here, everybody. Zubimendi.
If we win 2-1, we can, Adam.
Yeah, 10. Plays it inside. Here's Ben White. Arsenal have just over 3 minutes plus stoppage time to get back on level terms. Dowman keeps it. Couldn't get it off him, so Madueke can run at Saints down the right wing. White on the overlap is a decoy. Madueke comes in field. Larin can't get close to him, but he's running across the pitch, and in the end sends it out all the way to that far side to Calafiori. Early cross from him, flicked on, headed away by Manning, half away by Saints. Volley towards Larin. He doesn't react. Saints clear it again for another pull back in. Larin wins the header, but it goes backwards. Norgard gets it down for Arsenal brilliantly and shields it away from Saints, and then Martinelli flicks it out to the left-hand side. Arsenal still coming strong. Here is Martinelli, their FA Cup goal scorer extraordinaire so far. Hat-trick at Pompey in the third round. 84th minute. Saints once more having to defend deep. Gabriel Martinelli trying to suck Bree into the tackle, and Bree makes the challenge and he stops it going out for a corner, and Bree runs around St Mary's. What a night this is turning into. 88 minutes approaching. Martinelli again, near post, caught by Peretz. He's doing not much wrong, Martinelli. He's absolutely the biggest threat Arsenal have, but they haven't got on the end of any of his crosses yet. And Daniel Peretz, I would have taken a bit more time than that if I was him.
Yeah, but the referee started counting him down too early.
Well, that was a lovely touch from Finn Azaz anyway. He's dropped it out of the sky beautifully to Fellows, and Saints have the possession. Can they keep it for long enough to run the clock down sufficiently to make life hard for Arsenal in these last few minutes? How much stoppage time are we going to have? If it's fair, if the stoppage time is fair, Joe, it's no more than 5 minutes. We've only had one injury. Foul by Yander inside Arsenal's half on Norgard, who takes it quickly inside his half. We've got just over a minute to go of normal time. So here's Zubimendi. Yander goes to tackle him, but again, even though he got to the ball, he's not strong enough, Joe, to take it off him. Then he commits the free kick, and that'll be a yellow card for Casper Yander. But second time earlier in the half, Joe, he made a tackle where he got the ball and then couldn't win the actual tackle. He's got to win that first tackle with Zubimendi.
Yeah, and the first, it's been tough in the first one, and then he makes a kind of a cheap tackle afterwards.
Yeah.
That's the part of the game. He's going to have to learn a little bit better, Adam. His positioning play is good, but when you find yourself running after, it's always a gamble, and you run after and you stick your legs in from behind. You know you either, if you win the ball, you win the ball, but if you don't, you're going to catch the player.
So, 90th minute, fourth official. Thomas Bramall waits with the board. If it's genuine, it should be 5. If it's helping Arsenal, it's about 8, but we'll see. There have been quite a few subs, but really the game has flowed brilliantly from start to finish.
It has.
They're taking so much time over this free kick, Arsenal, that we're going to be in stoppage time by the time they take it. And Thomas Bramall says, as the Arsenal players headed 6, I'll settle for 6. I'll settle for 6. Gyökeres and Madueke over this free kick.
We've got to get 6.
It's almost dead centre. I think 6 is fair. Dead centre, and it's going to be Gyökeres who blasts it into the wall, comes back out to White, and then he misses Madueke with his pass, but they're lucky the goalkeeper's on halfway, and Kepa gives it to White, and White's going nowhere. Back to Kepa, might as well close him down, and he bangs it out of play in disgust. Kepa Arrizabalaga, not quite the disdain he refused to come off the pitch for in the League Cup final years ago when a Chelsea player, but not far off. 91st minute, yellows is the cry. Saints in the 76 shirts doing the 76 team proud. Header from the throw by Zubimendi back to halfway. Wood tussles, Yander's in there. Zubimendi can't keep control of the ball. It's bobbling around the centre circle, and Azaz does well. Now Fellows should run to the corner flag here. He's got it down that far side. He might attack Calafiori. Comes inside him. Could he square it to Charles? He can't. They both wait for each other, and it allows Arsenal to clear and get up the park. And then Martinelli is racing onto a great pass from Gyökeres. Martinelli into the box on the left. 2 defenders there, and he fires it straight at Daniel Peretz. And Saints survive the counter-attack. And we are 90 seconds into stoppage time. Peretz clears. I honestly didn't think this could happen, Joe. I just thought they'd put up a good performance and probably lose. But they are so close to causing one of the great upsets of the FA Cup in recent times. Here comes Madueke though, lovely pass. Manning slow to get close to him. He shoots over and wide. Oh, that was a good opportunity. Saints tiring. I think Manning's got cramp, that's why he struggled. It's a Southampton goal kick and Manning's got to get up because they don't want the clock running, going into more extra time or injury time because they're waiting for him. St Mary's, almost expectant, nervously excited, happy.
Yeah, and Edozie needs to, in this moment, Edozie needs to help Manning on the side. He's leaving him 1-on-1. You shouldn't leave Manning 1-on-1. You don't need to go forward anymore.
Ball up from halfway forward on the volley from Yanda into the air. Calafiori heads it back into the centre circle. Yanda heads it back, this time onto the head of Saliba. And then Arsenal lose it, but they win it back. Good play. Norgard's been really good, by the way. And now this time Yanda falls over because he can't afford to foul him, but Shea Charles can because he's fresh on the pitch. And it's another Arsenal free kick, and Manning can't get up because of his cramp. Arsenal ripping the ball off him. Dowman's fouled. Martinelli's going in the book for his behaviour.
Yeah, Manning needs to pick in Edozie, come on, and you got to help Manning on the side, and he's doing it now. As you can see, he's telling Edozie, come over here, I need to help you. I've got cramp and I got Madueke on the side. He's come in, he's fresh, so go and help him.
Can you imagine if you're Downs or Matt Ski and you're suspended for this, thinking, oh, that's it. And then can you imagine if they hold on and then you know you're going to be in the semi-final? I mean, unbelievable. Arteta going mad. Arsenal free kick is about 35-40 yards from goal, inside right, 94 minutes nearly on the clock, 96 we're due, short one again, White takes it, gets it to Dowman on the edge of the box, out it goes to Madueke, it's all about the delivery, left foot curler, Saints head it half clear, Calafiori fires into the northern end, and that's as big a cheer as Saints goals almost. And Southampton have a goal kick, and we are into the last 2 minutes of stoppage time, and they lead Arsenal in the FA Cup quarter-final. Quite remarkable. It's a massive, massive night for Southampton and Tonder Eckert, and for also Josh Quasi, who's coming on in the 95th minute. I don't think I'd want to, Joe. Who wants to come on now?
Well, he's making a tactical change there, Adam, because he knows he's going to be more crosses in. Arsenal has to put the ball in.
Well, there's only 90 seconds. How many are they going to put in? Right, long clearance. Headed back by White. Good header from Manning. Edozie gets it, flicks it onto Larin. Larin holds the ball up well. Tries to play it to his right. It's a great ball to Fellows. Fellows has Calafiori backtracking in his box. Fellows fires, and it's tipped over and behind by Kepa. And as we enter the last minute of stoppage time, Southampton have it in the Arsenal end with a corner.
And the official wants to make the substitute, but Tom Becker, no, because he's taking off Manning, who's got a cramp. That's why he's making the change. But Tom Becker told him to put the sign down and keep Manning on the pitch.
There. Well, what they've got to do is take 2 minutes over this corner. That might help.
Well, it's only 30 seconds.
Yeah, they've taken 30 seconds over it already, and they've taken it short, and they're holding it by the corner flag. And they try and win another corner, and they didn't get a touch. It's a goal kick to Arsenal.
No, you've got to get back.
Yeah, Finazaz isn't getting back. He's staying on the short ball out. And we are almost into the end of stoppage time, everyone. Saints lead 2-1. They lead the Premier League leaders 2-1. There's 3 seconds to go till we've had the 96. Everyone wants to whistle. Sam Barrett plays on. Arsenal play it down the right wing. Jokeres chases, and Wood holds him off. And listen to that cheer. That cheer was for a goal kick to Southampton. I'd never heard a cheer for a goal kick like that in my life.
Oh, it's fantastic. Well managed game, Adam. Now we're taking Manning off for Kwasi. It's the right decision.
Here comes Kwasi for Manning. He literally could come on and the ref could blow the whistle when the goal kick's taken. Anyway, by the way, we're on air for a while. I'd love your thoughts, please. 0800 321 333 on WhatsApp. I've lost it, I can't remember. 0800 321 333 at Solent Sport on X. Keep the calls coming in. Text 81333. Saints still playing. Yanda hits it against his own player. Arsenal might get one more chance. We've gone past 97 minutes. Saints have to defend this cross. Volleyed away. Referee, look at your whistle. And that's it! That's it! Southampton are in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley after beating the Premier League leaders Arsenal on a famous night at St Mary's by 2-1. Shea Charles, the goal hero, off the bench. But the dream of 76 being repeated 50 years on, he's absolutely still alive after a fantastic night of football. The FA Cup rarely fails to deliver, but in their yellow and blue 1976 kit, the class of 2026 have beaten league leaders Arsenal, and they are through to the semi-final of the FA Cup. Listen to this. Just enjoy this. And the players go across for the applause from their supporters all round the ground. The Arsenal end emptying quickly. Saints players and staff in raptures on the turf at St Mary's. This season just keeps giving. And we are going to Wembley on the weekend of April the 25th or 26th. Southampton of the Championship have beaten Arsenal 2-1 on a famous, brilliant night at St Mary's. And I hope you've been along and enjoyed the ride with us since 6 o'clock this evening. Reaction to come from the tunnel as the players celebrate with the fans. Nobody in a Saint shirt has left the office. No one's left the building, not even Elvis. And the northern end is rocking as the players line up on the edge of the penalty area to take the applause of their fans who know they're heading back to the home of football 4 years after their last semi-final, and for a rare chance to make the FA Cup final for the first time in 23 years in a generation, and for only the 4th time in their illustrious history.
This is BBC Radio Solent Sport.
Well, Connor simply says, "Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. We're going to Wembley," says Connor, and that's exactly what Southampton are doing in an unbelievable night, thanks to this late winning goal.
Azaz's touch fell kindly to Fellows in the box, squares it, there's a chance, yes! Southampton had the lead, and it's Shea Charles again! He knows how to score a special goal, does Shea Charles! That is brilliant from Southampton!
Can you believe it? 81333 on the text to get in touch. The messages are flooding in. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Solent, your first word, at Solent Sport on X. We'll try and bring you Tonda Eckert, or we will bring you Tonda Eckert after 10 o'clock in a player. There'll be a Going Home with Adam and Joe later. What an episode that's going to be. If you subscribe to our Southampton BBC Sounds page right now, you'll get it instantly when it drops. What a night. Saints are going to Wembley against all the odds. They're into the FA Cup semi-finals on the home of live sport across the south.
BBC Radio Solent Sport.
Hello, I'm Ian Wilding with Joe Tessam. Joe, what a night. Seeing the players do the lap of honour walking around the pitch right now. Who on earth saw this one coming at 8 o'clock tonight?
Oh, absolutely fantastic. And I think it's deserved as well. We managed the game really, really well, and we had opportunities. Arsenal, I actually thought we were the better side second half. Arsenal were dominant first half. We scored. We were more dominant when Arsenal scored, so it shows that football is funny. It doesn't mean that it's not when you have the ball and dominate play. It's when you get the opportunities, and sometimes you get opportunities because the other side has got the ball more than on pressing forward, and I think that's what happened to our goal, and I think that's happened to the Arsenal goal. But then that counter-attack and the play and the build-up for that goal, Shea Charles scores and wins us the game with. Absolutely brilliant play, hold-up play brilliant, passing play, Tom Fellows brilliant, and the finish from Shea Charles, absolutely magnificent. What a day to be a Southampton supporter and a fan of the club. Absolutely brilliant.
As the players come over to this near side and walking in towards the tunnel now after that lap of honour right around the pitch. What a night. Southampton going to Wembley. Saints 2, Arsenal 1. Breathe it in. Surely it's not sunk in yet. It may not sink in for a while. Listen to the noise. John in Eastleigh says, what a match. Great play, Saints. Perrett's definitely man of the match for me. Oh my goodness, what a game. Yes, you Reds, you legend, says Amy, the Saints fan. There was a time we didn't hear rocking all over the world here for about 6 months, Joe. But now that's 15 games unbeaten. And what credit for Tonda Eckert to beat Fulham of the Premier League, to beat Southampton, to beat Arsenal of the Premier League, to beat Coventry in the Championship, the runaway leaders a few weeks ago. These are some incredible wins in that 15-game unbeaten run, Joe.
Yeah, and it's foreign manager, young managers coming up, and what he's done and turned things around, and the club has turned things into something positive here. Players are playing for the club, players are playing for the manager. That's what you want, and we are becoming a really, really good side, Ian, and that's what we want to see. We want to see us perform on the highest level. Even against Fulham away, we showed phases of play where we were absolutely brilliant. We stuck in when we had to, played good football when we had to, attacked when we had to. And I was a little bit worried when it took Sienza off. Doesn't matter now, we won it anyway. So that's the thing we're seeing with Tonda Eckert, more organisation in terms of the team. And when we were a little bit headless in the game first half, we tidied it up and we got it right and calmed down, and like Cameron Bragg and Caspian, they just stood in their positions more and didn't run headless, and then suddenly the game kind of came back to us. But I thought we were brilliant second half. That half we dominated parts of it, and then we were on the caution, we defended, but that's what you got to do in football, and it shows these players that the Premier League is not that far off. That's what you want to sniff off. And now Wrexham is next. Wrexham is next, and we got to pull out a performance again. I'm so glad we won it and didn't go to extra time. That would have cost us too much energy. Win the game in 90 minutes, and then you